Today I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz.
Wait.
Nigga, what's up? How gangster are you, cuz?
Hey.
I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me. I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me. I go hard, cuz.
Hey, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good today. Happy Thursday. This week is going by so quick, I swear. I just had me a good nap, so I'm like, okay, time to do a live stream, get this together. Shout out to y'all. Y'all like the hat? I got this for my birthday. I think T Baby sent it to me. She got it for me for my birthday. She was at the birthday party. I'm still waiting on all the videos and the pictures. We got about 80% of them. So once we have all of them, I'll be posting them in like a Dropbox so you guys can get your professional pictures that were taken at the party. So it's been so cool kind of looking back at the video, because when you're the one hosting it, you don't get to like really see everything. So, you know, just going back and reviewing all like the footage and stuff. So such an amazing weekend, and thank you again to everybody who came to my Leo bash. So as you guys know, Leo season is ending soon. So Simba will be going away. The other lion will be going away, but you know, it's always gonna be Leo season in my heart, okay? Well, yeah, I thought this was so cute. I'm like, okay, I need me a nice little fatigue hat to go with my jacket, so it kind of worked out. But I hope everybody is doing really good. It's been a lot going on that I want to hit on, so we're gonna go ahead and like chop it up. Yeah, I'm wearing the green today, child. Thank y'all so much. So, like I said, Leo season ends tomorrow. Today is Dr. GoFundMe Tunde's birthday. And it's so funny because all the Virgos in the video when I had talked about Umar last week, they were like, no, we're not claiming him. You're not putting him off on us. I'm like, damn. But y'all know damn well he is closer to Virgo than he is Leo. But I get it. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want to claim that, okay? Y'all are satisfied with Beyonce and that's it. So it has been a lot going on. I heard earlier today that Malik Taylor had died. He's a fellow YouTuber. I got a chance to meet him a year ago. And we got pictures together. He was like a huge fan, and he said that I had inspired him to start his YouTube career, and he was such a sweetheart. And what's insane is that last night I was watching his latest video on Baddies Africa, because I've fallen off. I haven't been keeping up with Baddies Africa, but I'll keep up with his commentary on it. And so I was watching that video just last night, and then I got a call this morning from one of my friends in Atlanta that he died, I think, in a car accident. I don't know all the details, but rest in peace to him. He was so sweet. And I had just talked to him in the DMs maybe like a month ago, because I was like, your background is different. You know what I'm saying? Where are you at? And he's like, I moved to Charlotte. And I was like, I used to live in Charlotte. And, you know, we were kind of talking about that because a lot of these algorithms, it seems like whoever you're subscribed to or following, especially, it's really bad on Instagram. You don't see the people that you're following anymore. Like everything is curated for you. So I hadn't seen his videos in a while. So then when his videos started popping up again, I noticed his background was different. So I ended up DMing him. But yeah, it's sad. I just heard about that, and it just goes to show you that life is so short. It just really is. You're here one day and gone the next. You know, and it's about like, you know, your legacy. You know what you leave. You know, the imprint that you've made on people's lives. So. My heart goes out to him and his family. That just, after I heard that, I went into my garden for a little bit and kind of just, you know, did my thing in there. And then I just went back to sleep. I'm just like, wow, it's really sad. So my heart definitely goes out to him. Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, so let's go ahead. I want to get started on all of the stuff that's going on, especially with Dr. GoFundMe Tunde. He's back at it again. When we saw him last week, he was talking about he was potentially going to lose the schools. You know, his bank accounts were frozen. You know, the same old dusty bullshit. And so he wanted people to like help donate money, you know, help him save his schools. And so then he had the bright idea to basically offer up a date to all the eligible women out there who are desperate. He's offering a date with Dr. Umar for $500. Okay. Now let's see what this date entails. You know, does it come with dusty dick, or are we just eating, you know what I'm saying? Are we just going to the Cheesecake Factory? Like, what all comes with this date for $500? Because for $500, I need me some sucky. I'm just like, let me stop. Let me go. Better get some damn hit with that shit for $500. Nah, I wouldn't want Umar Johnson anywhere near me. But Let me go ahead and pull up the video here. This man just, oh gosh. $500 on the date? Bitch. That's a lot of damn money. What else am I getting outside of Root Crisp? Okay? Does it come with a side of dusty dick? All right, let me stop. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Give me just a moment. Let's see what Dr. GoFundMe Tunde is talking about here. All right. Oh, child. This man, nothing this man ever does ceases to amaze me. Let me just fix this a little bit. There we go. All right, let's see what he's saying, y'all.
Coming out for the ladies, it's called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called...
Not the animations. What in the world is going on here? Not the animations of Umar and the little, the black woman with the natural hair. Umar, shut the fuck up.
A lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy. Don't hate my ninja, because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor? Do your wifey want that?
Objection. This is really disturbing. This man, let me come up on the screen real quick. This man is supposed to be a principal for black boys. And you're sitting here saying that another man's girlfriend or wife is a prisoner in their relationship, all because you want a $500 donation. This is insane. The fact that he's willing to take another man's woman and he's bragging about it so proudly is insane. A woman who really loves her man, who has respect for herself, is not going to donate $500 to another man for that man to take her on a lunch date. The only people that he should be trying to attract with this proposal is single women. And my thing is like, who is hating on him? You're literally outside every day at said park or in front of FDMG struggle school. We never see you anywhere, outside of you doing like speaking engagements. You don't own a home, barely own a car. What are the men jealous of? I'm confused. And again, then he's saying, oh, if you get picked, I'm going to pay for the dinner date. Bitch, as you should. What if I'm already donating you $500, you better be damn well paying for the dinner date. And like I said, for $500, there better be some dusty peen attached to it. I'm just saying, okay? It's a lot of damn money. Times is hard, okay? So if I'm coming out of pocket $500, I'm going to need something else hard to go to. Let me stop. Let's get back to his commentary, child. Oh, my gosh. Umar Johnson.
That lunch date with the doctor. I think we all know the answer to that. Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that. Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3", dark chestnut cocoa brown with the North Philly beard. You ain't
what?
Leo King.
What?
Ninja.
Again, leave the Leos out of this. Stop. Leave Leo Nation out of this, okay? Yes, you are 6'3", and y'all know, honey, we love a tall king, okay? But shout out to the short kings, okay? Shout out to y'all, too. They be some fine-ass little short kings, okay? I'm not mad. We all love a good 6'3". But, again, what does that 6'3" height come with? All I see is dustiness. You can be as tall and as chocolate as you want to be. But all I see is a bunch of dust. So your height is not impressing me when you don't even own your own home. Okay? These short kings out here handling their business, short or not. Not him trying to height shame. Now y'all talk about women height shaming. This is a grown black man who is going to be a principal, a supposed principal for young black boys. And he's like, being heightist. He has a lot of heightism. And you know what I'm saying? If women do this, we're wrong. But he's literally talking about shorter men because he's 6'3". 6'3" with a damn gut.
You ain't Pan-Africanist #1. Nobody flying you to every continent to hear what you got to say. Only me. Don't make me take my t-shirt off and turn into King Kong right now. Don't make me beat my chest. Don't make me beat my chest. King Kong. Stop playing. Program coming out for the ladies. It's called Lunch with the Doctor.
Oh my gosh.
It's called Lunch with the
Umar Johnson never ceases to amaze me. Like, this man, he knows no bounds. He has no shame. He's literally pimping himself out at this point to help fund his lifestyle. Because we know the money's not going towards this school. This school is never going to open. We've been saying that on this channel for years. And for so long, people would be like, I'm being negative. I don't want the good black doctor, I'm saying, to succeed. Remember, I did a video on him a few years ago about him when he was at the casino, just gambling. I'm like, how's he at the casino feeling so comfortable to gamble when folks are still waiting for the school? Remember, my main commentary was, where is the school, Umar? My kids is getting grown and we still have not seen this school. So for him to be out here now trying to offer up dates, how about you offer up a launch date, a real launch date for this school instead of a lunch date for women who are in relationships? Umar needs to grow up. At this point, this is sad. This is the man who is supposed to be teaching young boys, who's supposed to be a role model for young boys. And all he's worried about is dinner dates, smashing cookies. I mean, this is the craziest hustle I've ever seen. This hustle is literally going on 13, 14 years. And this ain't the first time he's offered up his services. I think it was about a year or so ago, he was offering up a different, go on a date with Umar. So he's done this before. This is embarrassing. Instead of Umar Johnson going out here and getting a real job, he expects his donors to keep giving him money. And the sad part is you have a lot of thirsty, desperate women who will have no problem donating him $500 in hopes of going to dinner with him. And that's just keeping it real. Somebody's auntie done cut him a check and is hoping that she'll be picked. But not this auntie. It ain't that damn serious. Umar couldn't get a dime from me ever again. He already skated off with my $100 from years ago. I learned my damn lesson, okay? This man is insane. He really is. Let me read some of these super chats here. Kitty the Jackson, what's up, sis? She sent $99.99. She says, happy end of Leo season, looking like a military Barbie. Yeah. Thank you so much, my Leo sis, okay? We don't claim Umar, okay? But yeah, I'm representing with my Leo necklace. I got my little Leo ring on right here. Y'all see that? Leo, honey. It's the end of our season, but make way for the, the Virgos. Thank you so much for the super chat, sis. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Kitty sent another $19.99, says, why is Umar begging the ladies? Men can't get a little lunch? I mean, that's the thing. I could see if he wanted to make it fair, and I don't consider him gay or fluid or anything like that. But why not do a thing like, for your fans? Even the guys, maybe the guys want, some advice. I don't know what type of advice these men would want because he still ain't built the school. Maybe a lunch date with the fellas. I'm building up their confidence because this man is the most confident homosexual I've ever seen. His confidence and arrogance is off the damn roof, okay? I mean, I know they say Leos can be arrogant, but damn it, he takes the cake. Imagine always out in the field, living with your mama at his big age of 50. He has all the confidence in the world. He's up here shouting out his height. I'm 6'3". Yeah, with a gut. Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? Not like he's 6'3" and he's chiseled. Now, if he was chiseled, that, you could brag about that. I mean, he's tall, but that's about it. The body is not on point. I'm just saying, okay? I mean, it's sad. He's just very, very, very arrogant. It just does not make any sense. He's a dark Leo. That's the vibe I'm getting. He's a dark Leo. Very arrogant for no reason. Literally panhandling and pimping his followers for a bag. And he's still got the nerve to talk down to men who are in relationships and who are shorter than him. The arrogance is just befuddling at this point. It really is. But I'm not shocked. Somebody said he's 6'3" and hefty. That he is. Hefty, scent sack. Y'all remember that damn commercial? Okay? Very hefty. Mr. Prince of Pan Pizza. I told y'all that's where all the damn GoFundMe money went. He ate it. I said that last week. Because I'm like, the only thing I've seen that's gotten, that's changed over the years is his physique. He ate the damn GoFundMe money. That's where it went. It went straight to his bellies. Umar is a mess, y'all. He is a mess. Let's see here. Divine and Beautiful 78 sent $4.99 says, this dust bucket has the nerve to shoot his shots. He better watch it. He is, honey. Let's see here. Lillian Dewa says, which African country clean doctor fake? I don't know, child. I don't know who's claiming. He just left South Africa about 2 weeks ago. He was up there on stage hooping and hollering. He's a mess. Miss AB. Hey, Miss AB. She said $9.99. She says he is truly pathetic. He's only prostituting himself. Crazy work. Yes, this school is never opening. He needs to go quietly away. He's addicted to the attention no matter how he gets it. It's sad. I definitely agree. He talks about, people being addicted to social media and, the black community and all of our ills, but he's no different. He loves the attention. I knew he was arrogant when I went onto his Instagram page and he had millions of followers and he wasn't following one person. And I don't know if it's still like that because I haven't been on his page in a while, but he doesn't follow anybody else. So that let me know his level of arrogance right there. So you mean to tell me that there's nobody else in the conscious community or just people that you rock with or people who have supported you that you could follow back and show them love to? But again, he wants to be the only one. This school is a scam. It's literally a 13-year scam, and it's sad. It really is. But thank you for the super chat. 2 Clarence 47 says, lifting weights and listening to Lovely Tea is a dangerous combo. I almost dropped my weights on my face. Oh, no. About to look like Tamar Braxton. Oh, my goodness. Be careful while you're in there lifting weights, honey. Okay? We love a good workout. We love people who take care of their bodies and stay in shape. So have fun in the gym. But definitely be careful. Thank you for the super chat, too. Let's see here. Jerry Bazile sent $20. Says, T, you look amazing. Happy belated birthday. Umar is a con man, but I treat him like a comedian. Brothers and sisters, finally the jig is up. I definitely agree. So thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. He's definitely a con man. He's conning his audience, and then, again, he's always gearing things towards the women. Because you have a lot of women in this day and age, they're desperate. They want a man. And, a lot of women, believe it or not, we like masculine men. We want a strong male, figure, who can lead. And that is what he presents, because of the way he speaks. But you got to look past, the great orator. You got to look past the words that are coming out his mouth. You got to look at the actions. And he's not who he proclaims himself to be. He's not a good leader. He's a grifter. Nothing more, nothing less. He's a con man like all these other con men. Like Brother Polite, Jay Morrison, all of these folks that have come in and out throughout the years. So hopefully nobody's donating to his foolishness. But, again, you have a lot of women out here who are very desperate. And they would go on a date with the doctor. I'm good. Like I said, for $500, I don't know, I just feel that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? For $500, it better come with some extras, bitch. We're gonna get some damn sucky, licky. We need extras. We're not just gonna go on a lunch date. I'm sorry. For $500? $500? No. It gotta come with a bit more than a dinner date. That's all I'm saying. Okay? So yeah, Umar Johnson is a mess. I don't know what is gonna go on with these schools moving forward. They're saying that supposedly they stopped the auction. He was able to come up with the money. That was the last I heard. So I don't know if it's because of the donations or he did have some of the money and he was able to pay it. I don't know. But I think at this point, he does not want to build this school. He doesn't care. He likes the attention. You know what I'm saying? He likes, the women. He's not interested in the children. He's interested in crushing cookies and eating them, apparently, because all the weight he's gained. Okay? Oh my gosh. I'm just saying, ladies, can we keep it real? If you are having to pay $500, ladies, you gonna need more than that. For $500, I can see if it was $50. $50, cool, dinner. $500, there got to be more than just lunch, okay? I want more than just breadsticks and a salad for $500, okay? Love me long time or something, shit. But again, I wouldn't send that to Umar, okay? I wouldn't send that to Umar. But that's a lot of money. Just like for the men, if I was to be like, $500 for a date with Lovely T, that's a lot of money. You can't tell me there's not going to be guys who want more than just a dinner date. That's how I'm saying. We're all human. Somebody said, yeah, they better give some sloppy top. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the breadsticks to be the only thing hard, okay? That's a lot of money. I can see 50 to 100, but $500? I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. But yeah, nah. Hold on, Power says, pay me 1,000 T and I would take care of you. Oh my gosh, not y'all offering up services in the chat. Nuh-uh. Somebody sent me a message talking about I want to be your side nigga. I'm like, what? Wait, hold up. Not people just offering service. Y'all are wild. Y'all are too funny. Somebody said $50 is too high. That's what I'm saying. $50 is a lot. He wants $500 and it's just a dinner date? Yeah, okay. Shit. Not in these hard times. Oh my gosh. My Stagia says for $500 he needs to be my slave. Okay, freak. She said she got her whips and chains ready, honey. Y'all are too funny in the chat. Oh, you know damn well at the dinner, this is what Umar does. A lot of women have come out and said things, so I highly doubt it's just going to be dinner and a date with Umar Johnson. Oh, there's going to be some extras, okay? So y'all ladies be careful. Be careful with that dusty peen. Oh my goodness. Somebody says, I won't pay it if it wasn't such hard times. Y'all are too funny in the chat. Let's see here. Whoop it's Nina says, what happens when a man donates? I don't think anything happens. He's not into men, so he's into crushing cookies. So if the men are donating, they're just donating for fun. Because Umar, he likes the cookies. He's a cookie monster. Mandarin91 sent $5, says, catching the live and starting out strong with a laugh. Love you, T. Love you too, sis. Thanks for tapping in. Troy on the beat. I like that name, Troy on the beat. Okay. Says, Jess caught a live looking good, T. I love the camo. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, love. Thank you. So let's go ahead here. Okay, Courtney says, hey, T, today's my birthday, Leo gang. Okay, happy birthday to you, Leo gang. Okay, hope you enjoy your day. Thank you for coming through to the stream. Appreciate you, sis. So now we got to talk about, let's move on from Dr. Umar, child, and his shenanigans. I couldn't believe that when Madia posted. I said, not this man out here looking for a date after not even a few days ago talking about he was struggling to keep the school. So let's talk about Mr. Paul Pierce. Okay, I don't know what's going on with Paul Pierce. One time he was a good, good basketball player. Now, everybody has a podcast, okay? Like I keep telling y'all, the money's not money. And so a lot of these celebrities are now, they're going to podcasting, giving their opinions on stuff. And so Paul Pierce is taking a play from Stephen A. Smith's playbook. About a year ago, Stephen A. Smith came out and said that men need to start dating 7s. Y'all need to stop going after these women who are 10s. Y'all need to date 7s. And Paul Pierce wanted to elaborate, and he spoke on it. So I think let's first listen to Stephen A. Smith talk about it, because like I said, this went viral a year ago with Stephen A. Smith, and I believe this is where Paul Pierce got his talking points from. So let's start with Stephen A. Give me just a second here. So this is Stephen A. Smith. Let me Let me fix this a little bit. Okay. So let's listen to what Mr. Stephen A. Smith has to say on why men should prefer a strong 7.
7. Strong 7. Now I'm going to deviate from this particular subject to bring up what a strong 7 is, because there's not a man alive that's going to disagree with what I'm about to break down. So I want the ladies to listen, because I'm trying to be here for you. I'm just trying to be here for you, okay? I'm just trying to be here for you. I want the ladies to listen. I want the ladies to listen, but all the men, there's no man alive that would disagree with what I'm about to say. You want a strong 7. Let me tell you why. 10, fine as all get out, tat-out, body, looking fine, everything like that, got it going on. Too much maintenance. Too much, because she knows she fine. And you're expendable. She could take you or leave you. A 9, that's a problem too, because you got enough people telling her she's a 10, so half of them acting that way. And by the way, the ones that ain't acting that way still require more from you than what others might. And so you got to be up on your game. That's problematic. 8, that's ideal, because that's really, really good looking. She got it going on. But at the same time, there's a level of independence that comes with it, which is never a bad thing, until she's so independent that she's making you feel like you need to be more dependent on her than she needs to be on you. So there's too many opportunities and too much time that's wasting away where you're not feeling like that dude. You're feeling like a dude, not that dude. Here's where the strong 7 comes in. Looks-wise, she can compete with an 8. But her mentality is not that of an 8. So she's more appreciative of you wanting her. As a result, she shows an elevated appreciation for you wanting her. Therefore, she treats you like she wants you. And as a result, y'all have more of a good time together. Fellas, am I lying? Fellas.
Shut up. Let me... Oh God, these are the elders of the community. So now let's listen to Paul Pierce and what he had to say about this. Now he's taking it even further. He's not even saying go after a 7. He's saying go after a 5. Okay? These guys, I swear. So Paul Pierce, let's listen to good old Paul. All right, y'all.
Men who stand up, men who go out there and put your elbow into making a woman make sure she's straight and hard working and respectable, chest up, chin out men, and you really on the grind and you really got ambition, Man, leave these little pretty girls alone, bro. They don't put their elbow in it. I'm going to keep it 100. Over there looking at, oh, she bad. Oh, look at her Instagram. Oh, she a 9, she a 10. No, I'll get you a 5 or a 6 who going to put some elbow into it and going to be down for you on some 100. You know what I'm saying? They going to look at you like, why he with her? Don't worry about why I'm with her, because she going to do everything you ain't doing. 100%. That's the new wave we should be on, fellas. Like, man, forget all that how you look when you with your arm around her. Nah, she ain't got no substance to her. All you men who stand up men, who go out.
Okay, so it's it's a lot to unpack with this one. I just find it very disturbing, like the mentality now. Again, the money's obviously not money, and I think part of it is these men cannot afford to upkeep the lifestyle that a lot of these really pretty, girls that consider themselves a 10, who are a 10, they can't afford to upkeep their lifestyle now. And my thing is, what people need to watch out for as far as this, you do have some women where their whole personality is just being pretty, being an aesthetic, being arm candy. But do you know why that mentality is so prevalent nowadays? It's because of men like Paul Pierce. It's because of the ballers, the rappers, the entertainers who hyped up these women, these IG baddies and stuff like that. Y'all hyped them up. Y'all stopped dating the regular women, the women that you went to college with, who had degrees, who had the brains, the ones that you grew up with from your neighborhoods. Y'all started chasing all the baddies and the 10s. And again, unfortunately, celebrities, entertainers, they set the trends in society, like it or not. So because that's what all these men ran after, then, every man in the hood thought that that's what they needed as well, was a 10 or a baddie on their arm, okay? And so all of the regular girls, right, who may have been like 6s and 7s, they're like, well, damn, in order for me to like be chosen and to get taken care of and get picked, I had to have the baddie aesthetic. So you had a lot of girls running to go get plastic surgery, getting their boobs done, BBLs, tummy tucks, veneers, cheek implants, just fillers, just all the stuff that we see now that is attributed to the baddie lifestyle. So how y'all complaining about the same shit that y'all put on a pedestal? Because y'all weren't putting regular women on pedestals. If her waist didn't look like this and her ass didn't look like that, you didn't want to be nowhere near them. So now that has blown up in y'all's face, because it's maintenance for them women. You want a woman who looks a certain way? Well, she has to get fillers every other month. She has to keep her lips injected. She has to get, 2 and 3 rounds of BBLs. She has to get her implants replaced. Yeah, it costs money. Her nails got to be done every 2 weeks. Lashes done. So because the money's not money in, and a lot of these men are getting older now, and they're finally, waking up like, damn, I chased this and it was just a facade. It wasn't what it's cracked up to be, because all she's going to do, she has a gold digger mentality. Once your money's funny, she's moving on to the next because she's a baddie. So she knows she can pull them left and right, left and right, left and right. So now that she's used you and spit you out, now you're bitter. Don't come running back now to the 5s, 6s, and 7s. Leave us the fuck alone. Okay? And I don't know where I range in the scale. Do I think I'm a 10? No. But I think, I'm average, right? I don't know, 7, 6, right? Leave us the fuck alone. Okay? Because what you're not going to do is use the women that you consider 5, 6, 7s, and 8s. Use us to rebuild your self-esteem. Use us to help, build you up and build with you and build businesses and have your back and, do all the things that you want, that you wanted that baddie to do, but she wasn't about that life. You're not going to use us to build you back up. And then once your self-esteem is back and you're feeling yourself, now you're running back to the baddies. Now you're running back to the 10s. We're not going to do that. My thing is, if you're not, all that does is create trauma. And there's too many people who are dating and not being honest. If you're not attracted to that person, leave them the fuck alone. If your intentions with me is, you want me to build you up as a man until you can get that baddie, bitch, leave me alone. Leave me alone and just go chase your baddie, okay? Like, no, that's not fair. You don't get to use average women, 8s and under when it's convenient. But then all the baddies got the good parts. When you was balling and you had the fame, it was nothing but baddies on your arm. So they got the best of you. And now that you're struggling and you're in your old age and you need a nurse with a purse, now all of a sudden 5s and 6s are okay. Bitch, I think the fuck not. Keep chasing them baddies. Leave us alone. We're not going to be here to nurse you back to health and change your diapers and all types of shit. You had the baddies do that. So I'm just tired of this conversation. It's like, are you serious right now? You're telling men that they should be going after 5s and 6s? Now that you're not who you were 10, 15 years ago? Now that your fame is dwindling down and you have to sit on a podcast and gossip all day? I just find that very interesting. Leave folks alone. Quit playing with people. Quit traumatizing women that you never really liked and that you didn't see yourself being with and that you're using as a fucking placeholder until something better aesthetically comes along that you can get props for in social media, in the media. Stop using women to like build you up and build up your self-esteem, and you're telling them that you want to build a future with them, but that's not really where your heart and your mind is at. You really want a spicy baddie with a, BBL body. If that's what you're after, go after that. But see, the problem is a lot of these guys, they're not able to maintain their lifestyle. They want that, but they can't pull that because they know those women, they're about their money. If I have to do all of this, I need to be reimbursed. I done been under the knife 50 million times. My hair, nails, everything, I need to be reimbursed. So they're about their money. So they're not going after, the broke guys, the average guys. So it's very interesting. A lot of these, these celebrity men are now spinning this talking point. And it just also screams lazy. It screams entitled. It screams that, you're not where you need to be in life currently. So now you want to come crawling back to the average. Whereas you could have got with an average girl and really built something up, really built somebody who loves you. The way Stephen A. Smith is talking, he's saying that, you need her to like you more than you even like her. So at that point, you want me as a woman to build you up and build up your self-esteem. What in the damn, the gender roles are just reversed. I shouldn't have to build up a man's self-esteem and make him feel good. And I shouldn't have to want a man more than he wants me. That's weird. We should want each other the same amount. Or am I tripping? I want a man to want me just as much as I want him. I shouldn't have to feel like I want him more than he wants me. And my thing is, men are supposed to be the ones who chase. So this is just like a weird talking point that I'm seeing a lot of these guys are saying, and they're lighting him up in the comments. It's like at this point, just be single. Just be single. And again, I'm not saying like, you're free to date whoever you want to date. If all you want is a 10 and a baddie, that is your business. You are free to go after those types of women. But understand they come with a certain lifestyle. They come with a certain aesthetic, and you got to have the funds. And if you have them funds and, money's no object and it ain't tricking if you got it, then by all means do you. But once you've been chewed up and spit out, don't come running back. Don't come running back. This is no different than the guys like back when I was in high school who didn't like dark-skinned women. That's okay. Everybody has their own preferences. They only wanted to date light skins and, the people they thought were baddies or, mixed girls. They didn't like dark-skinned girls. They dated everything but black girls. And so now that they've had, umpteenth biracial children, they've been on child support, the exoticals done used them and spit them out. Now, oh, black queen, Mother Earth, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Bitch, leave my dark skinned ass alone, okay? Keep on chasing your exoticals. Keep the same energy you had in high school, okay? You're not about to come back and traumatize me. Because the exoticals done used your ass and child supported you to death. Now as a black woman, I'm supposed to, help you and, help you maintain your lifestyle. Now they love dark-skinned women. No, leave me the fuck alone, okay? Keep the same energy you had in high school, okay? Who can relate to that? I'm just saying, no, you don't get to swing the block. Especially when you made it very clear back in the day you did not like dark-skinned girls. And you went after what you went for, and that's cool. But you don't get to swing the block. And same for women. I can say that for men too. Like the girls who didn't like the nerds, right? Same thing. Perfect example. Think about all the girls who were bad, really pretty. They didn't like the nerdy boy. Oh, he's a nerd. He's a geek. And so they were going after like the drug dealers, the thugs, the gangbangers. Now they done had, 4 baby daddies, you know what I'm saying? Had all these kids. Now they want to circle back to the nerd. The nerd who now went and got his degree, got a good job. He's looking good. Now you want the nerdy man to support you and your 4 baby daddies. I mean, your kids by 4 different men. No. Keep the same energy. If all you wanted was thugs back in the day, keep on dating them damn thugs. Leave my nerdy ass alone. It's not my job to clean up your mess. So I feel it on both sides. I feel it on both sides. Stop trying to use people at the end of the day. Like what you like. But once that doesn't work out, don't try and swing the block. Because it's very, very disingenuous that when you were at the height of your fame, and Paul Pierce was married, don't get me wrong, but for people who think like this, it's very disingenuous when you were at your height that you chose not to share that with somebody on your level, a regular average looking woman who, had herself together, went to school, but because she didn't look a certain way, her body wasn't a certain way, she wasn't good enough. And now that you're kind of washed and nobody's checking for you, you're a lot older, you know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, you're still demanding to be chased by 5s and 6s. Absolutely not. Let those people that you deem 5s and 6s, let them find a good man who wants them more than they want them. Because if you need a woman to boost up your self-esteem, if you need a woman to chase you and like you more than you like her, that's disturbing. I want my partner to like me just as much as I like them. And this is why I say you should never date down. Adrian says everyone needs a Jet 2 holiday at this point. They really do. They really do. It's like it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm noticing now as everybody's getting older. It's like everybody's having all these thoughts and recollections. And this is why you need to make smart decisions early on. And the younger you are when you're making these decisions, it's going to set you up a certain way, in the future. And it's like when you're only going for a look, when you're only going for a superficiality, that comes with consequences. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you're really going to be with somebody and looking for somebody who has character, who has integrity, who has a good heart, that's really what you should be looking for. And I'm not saying you have to date people that you're not attracted to, because you want to be attracted to your partner. So I'm not saying, if you don't find somebody attractive, you don't find them attractive. But what I'm saying is that people who only want to go for a certain look, and then when it doesn't work out for them, now they want to swing back, and now they want to talk to people that they deem are somewhat beneath them, right? Looks-wise, body-wise, whatever, just so they can get that ego boost. It's not my job to help boost up your self-esteem. We're not going to do that. Yeah, it's really sad. Jeremy says, praise us nerds. Y'all not love me a good nerd, honey. I'm a nerd myself. I'm a girl nerd. Team Marvel, okay? IT. And yeah, a lot of us, if we weren't into, makeup and, just all the girly shit, we're kind of written off. And that's okay. But now they're seeing, a lot of guys are seeing like, damn, okay, nothing wrong with the little nerdy girl, who understands computers and, who kind of kept her head in the books. Now they're trying to circle back. No, leave us nerds the fuck alone. Okay, we're looking for other nerds out here. We're looking for other nerdy people, okay? Yeah, it's sad. And this is why a lot of women at this point just would rather be single. They're like, because if this is the option, this is the alternative, it's just a bunch of drama or men saying that, I'm only dating you because you're 5 and I need my peace. It's just a lot of real feminine energy that I'm getting from some of these men. Like, please bring back masculinity because these talking points are not cute at all. Again, I can see when you're talking to younger men about making smart decisions, but they're not coming from that point of view. They're coming from a point of, being old and battered, and they feel away. No different than some women who are like in their 40s and now, N-words ain't shit. Men ain't shit. All men are horrible. No, bitch, you made a lot of wrong decisions in your life. We're not going to do that because there's a lot of good men out here. Just because you chose to run after the damn thugs and drug dealers and the motherfuckers who wasn't shit and you decide to have baby after baby after baby, you can't put that on all men. And the same can be said for these men because they want to run after the strippers and the IG models and, the baddies and all that stuff. And they got played and got their bank accounts drained. Now women ain't shit. Only go for women who, who are 5 and under. No. So again, it's personal responsibility, just like with Shannon Sharpe. This man had everything in the box for him. But see, he did that Cat Williams interview and he got very, very arrogant because that interview did numbers. One of the biggest interviews till this day that blew up his ego like nothing else. He already had an ego, but that blew his ego up even more. Where he thought he was beyond reproach, he could do whatever. How as a 50-something-year-old man, you get played by a white bumpkin young girl in her 20s. You refused to pay for your own black daughter's wedding unless it was under a certain amount. But you done built generational wealth for this young white girl. So again, chasing OnlyFans, chasing that baddie aesthetic, got Shannon Sharpe played in his face. Yeah, it's insane. Matter of fact, Monique came out recently. I don't know if y'all saw this. Monique was interviewed about the Shannon Sharpe situation. Let me see if I have that here. Since we're talking about Shannon Sharpe. Yeah, she was just interviewed about it. Let me share this with y'all. Let me make this wider. I really didn't like what she had to say about the situation. To me, I felt like she was being, I don't know, she was giving him a lot of grace that I know for a fact he wouldn't have given her. Let's just say that. He wouldn't have given it to her, but it is what it is. So this is what the article says. Monique stands strong behind Shannon Sharpe amid lawsuit controversy. Okay. So it says here, Monique is standing on her 10 toes, making it clear that her loyalty to Shannon Sharpe is unwavering, even after the NFL Hall of Famer reached a multi-million-dollar settlement. What did she say? Okay. While speaking to her followers, Monique referenced Sharpe as her brother and expressed nothing but love for him despite the storm surrounding his name. She said, "We've all not walked the perfect line. We've all made mistakes. We've all taken a fall. We've all had to get up and go get it again," she said. "So that is my brother, and I love my brother." Okay. So that is what she had to say. And again, her and Shannon Sharpe, they have a different relationship. That's their business. But I know if that was Monique, he wouldn't have showed her as much grace as she showed him. So kudos to Monique for showing him that type of grace, because I know he wouldn't show that to her as a black woman. But it is what it is. He definitely got played. Let me read some of these super chats here. Oh, let's see here. Elizabeth RN sent $2.79. She says, make sure to leave that Leo cap outside for me. Clock it. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like the hat. It's adorable. As soon as I opened up my present, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to wear this hat. I love it so much. So thank you. I appreciate it. Sally Matu says, T, the fit is fire. Are you going to watch the Love Island reunion on Monday? I definitely will. I didn't know that they did reunions on Love Island, so I will definitely check it out. I'm excited to see what they talk about during the reunion because I definitely did end up enjoying the show. So thank you for letting me know about that. I appreciate you. Keita sent $100. She says, love you, T. I love you too. And thank you so much for the support, Keita. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. 24K says, we need to ban all these dusties from buying podcast mics. Seriously, I agree. I think these podcasts at this point, they're doing a lot more damage than good. And this goes for the women podcast, the men podcast. Like, they keep talking about the same topics. It's like, you know, I get wanting to go viral, but at what point are we going to talk about more serious stuff? I just did a video the other day. Over 350,000 black women have been laid off in the past few months. Doctors and nurses are being laid off around the country. Why are none of these celebrity podcasts hitting on those topics that are really affecting regular people? It's always something sexual, some type of dating. It's always that. It's always like the superficial nonsense. Like, I wish as big as their platforms I wish they would hit on some of those topics as well. So thank you for the super chat. Wavy Tay sent $19.99. He says, hey, Auntie, it's your favorite soldier checking in. Paul Pierce is that dusty uncle who steals talking points from other men and all of a sudden thinks they are Plato or Aristotle. Boy, bye, and has several seats. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, Wavy. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, he totally took a lot of the talking points from Stephen A. Smith. Because when I first heard that, I'm like, okay, this sounds familiar. Stephen A. Smith literally said this a year ago, but now he's trying to remix it and say, don't date pretty girls. And then my thing is, so if we see Paul Pierce with somebody, imagine how that woman's supposed to feel. That everybody's going to be looking at her like, oh, he's only with you because you're a 5 or you're not cute. It's just, I don't like that at all. But thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see here. 24K sent $4.99 says, ladies, take this advice from a dude. Please, for the love of God, ignore these podcast dudes. I agree. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like they said, take all the podcast equipment away from these guys. Please hit the like button. We got over 6,000 people in here, only 1,000 likes. Please hit the like button, please. Jay Naomi says, you're a 20 out of 10, Auntie. Stop playing. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, sis. Psychedelic Law sent $19.99 says, some men just want someone to think that they just want somebody that they think they can control. I don't think looks has as much to do with it. A confident 6 wouldn't put up with these type of men either. That's true, too. That is true. You do have some people they want, it's not even about them being in a healthy relationship. It's about control. Because like he was saying, they want somebody who can cook and clean and submit and do, all these things for them. But they're not talking about what they're doing. Because if you're saying that you don't want to trick off and you don't want to take care of the baddie and the pretty girls, well, are you not? So how are you going to treat the woman that you're considering a 5 or 6? She doesn't get anything from you? She's just there to just submit and, you control her and she should just be happy to have you. That's disturbing. That's very disturbing. So thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. Kitty the Jackson sent $9.99 says, you're a full 10, period. Thank you, Kitty. I appreciate y'all. I don't understand the rating thing. So like I said, I just know Kevin Samuels used to be knocking people down when they would call into his show. I'm like, I'm a 10. He'd be like, you're a 7 at best. I'm like, shit, okay. But thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Whoop, it's Nina says, being single is not a punishment and being in a relationship is not a reward. Do what you want, stay in your lane, and don't be a debtor to no man. I definitely agree. Yeah, you definitely have to do what you want to do as far as like, relationships. If you want to be in a relationship and be married, you have every right to do that. And if you choose to keep your peace and be single, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And that goes for both men and women. There's, at the end of the day, you got one life to live. So thank you for that. Nina sent another $4.99. She says, all these rating systems and whatever, as if modern men don't turn into straight groupies around wealthy men. Buffoons, really. Ooh, that is so true. I don't know if we ever talked about the Metro Boomin situation, because I was there. I went to his album release party, and it got so bad that he had to leave the party. Like I didn't really talk about it, but it was so many male groupies there on stage. First of all, I don't even know how all these men got on stage, right? Because he only wanted like Young Thug, 21 Savage was there, Little Baby. He wanted, people who were part of the album, his crew, and they kept telling these guys, get off the stage. They refused. And then eventually, like the DJ, whoever was emceeing, they were cussing folks out. They turned on the lights. It was just so annoying because it's like the females weren't even on stage like that. It was, let me see if I can find any video. It was insane. And I had the receipts in my phone too. I didn't want to post it because I wasn't trying to be messy, but whatever. It ended up on TikTok anyways. But let me see if I can find, like, it was so embarrassing. So you are so right when you say that a lot of these men, they turn into straight groupies around rich men. But then they'll clown women for the same thing, which is just insane. Let me see if I can find any video. I think here's a man talking about it. Okay, Metro Boomin leaves amid chaos. Okay, let me show y'all this. And like I said, I was there. I was pretty close to the stage. I never thought about getting on stage because, again, I'm not a rapper. I don't, I'm a woman. I didn't even jump on stage. It was so many guys. It was like insane how like a lot of the guys were acting. And they call women groupies. Okay. Let me fix this real quick. All right. So I think this is one of the videos here. But yeah, it was very embarrassing. They had to turn on the lights a few times. Then after a while, I thought the DJ was going to just jump in the crowd and start fighting. Because he was really like, it got really bad. He was like cussing. It was like, it got real ratchet after a while. But let's see. So that's Metro Boomin right there. And he's basically telling them, please get off the stage. Y'all need to get off the stage because he's just trying to perform and, just vibe out with the people who helped on the album. And when I tell you, this went on for hours because we got there. What time did I get up there? We got there about, I think like 10, 11. No, I think it started at 10. We got there about like 11. It was supposed to go on to like 1 or 2. We got there about 11. And so from the time we got there, they were just hooping and hollering and get off stage, get off stage. I'm like, okay, I want to hear this album. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear, I've already been listening to the album. I wanted to hear him perform. They spent more time telling men to get off the stage than performing. Like the videos that I showed y'all of Young Dro rapping, that's literally all the footage I got of them rapping. Because the rest of the time it was get off stage, too many men on stage, get up, and they were not moving. And these were not, people are like, oh, it's Atlanta, they're probably gay. No, these were straight Zone 6, okay, about that life dudes. So these were not just some gay, flamboyant Atlanta guys. These were like, you know what I'm saying? Hood dudes. They were not getting off the stage for shit. It was insane. So then once Metro Boomin left, I was like, well, we can go. Like, we came to see him perform. So, we got our pictures. I had a good time overall, but it was just a lot. It was a lot. He didn't even get to like perform or really do anything. Young Dro performed, but it was just like they spent more time telling grown men who were not a part of this album creation to get off stage. So what you are saying, Nina, is so true. When you say that, you have a lot of these guys who turn into straight groupies around wealthy men, around wealthy individuals. They do. So it's like, if they're doing that around men, then how can you then project and say that, women are the gold diggers? And not saying that women don't go dig, some of them, but a lot of these guys too. So yeah. Somebody said the hood ones be gay too. Oh yeah, that's true too. It is Atlanta. But yeah, I've never seen nothing like that. Like literally, I've never been to an event and it was more of them turning on lights, turning off lights, and saying get off the stage than performing. It was insane. Yeah. So let's see here. Cheryl Cola sent $10, says, I have dudes from high school wanting to date me after 20 years. They are bald and out of shape. I'm like, no, I still look 28. Introduce me to your younger cousins. I know that's right. And, again, the decisions you make when you're young will affect you as you get older. Everything from drinking, smoking, going in and out of jail, stuff like that. And no, you don't get me at my best now that you've been ran through and used up and, out of shape, can't breathe, got diabetes, gout. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to bother none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see now a lot of younger guys are going for older women, because a lot of the older women in like their mid 30s, 40s, 45 on up, they look a lot younger. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of younger guys are going for older women. It's like the new trend or something. It's all over social media, the age gaps and stuff like that. And again, a lot of older guys in their 40s are going for the younger girls. But I think the difference is a lot of the younger girls are with the older guys because they got money. It's, a security. They're tricking off. It's not, some of them are genuine relationships, right? But a lot of it is like, okay, I'm going to date him. He's older. Get a bag from him. Stuff like that. Whereas when I see it with like the younger guys and the older women, it tends to be a more real relationship. It's not like some type of cougar chase type stuff. It's like really a real genuine relationship from what I've seen. So yeah, introduce me to your younger cousins any day. Okay. She said she ain't trying to mess with the damn dude she went to high school with. No, that's right, sis. Live your best life. Ayana Winston, Sam 499 says, T, I've been sad since I was 12. I'm now 20. Much love from Houston. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, sis. Thank you. Hello Moto says, T, I'm not sure if you heard, content creator and T Sipper Malik from Unpopular Party passed away. Yeah, I did talk about it at the beginning of the stream. I did hear about it this morning, and yeah, very, very heartbreaking. Like, it just goes to show you how short life is. You could be here one moment and gone the next. That's why it's so important to have your affairs in order. Like, I'm still like just shocked by the whole thing. And I think about that sometimes too, like, damn. I mean, I do have my affairs in order, like we've talked about this on Discord and things like that, like my trust and all that, but it's still sad. because it's like, you know, one day we're not going to be here. I'm not going to be making content, you know? And it's just like, I'm going to miss this. And I know like my tea sippers are going to miss me. But yeah, it's sad. It's sad. You know, rest in peace to him. But let's see here. Leela Koto sent 5. Says since women aren't enough, maybe they should date other men. That's always an option. Thank you for the super chat, sis. Let's see here. Forever your Leo. Hey, girl. My Leo sis. She said 1999. She says, I'm convinced that the same men who criticize women every chance they get are just jealous of women. They are quick to knock down a woman's career and education, looks to subscribe to the patriarchy that screws them over as well. Yeah. It's like sometimes, unfortunately, as women, you can't win or lose, you know, unfortunately. It's like if you go and you choose to, hold on, let's see here. Melvin Elephant says, young men aren't with older women for the right reasons either. It's because they don't feel they can get young, attractive women, and older women are less work for young guys. That's not true, because I know a lot of older women and the younger guys that they're with are very attractive. A lot of young girls be trying to fight older women behind some of these dudes. So that's not always true. They're not getting like the dusty young, and a lot of older women who got themselves together, they're not talking to like young dusty dudes who don't got shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them had themselves together as well. They just prefer older women. And I know some older women where young girls have tried to fight them over the young guys they were talking to. And it's like, bitch, I'm an auntie. We're not about to be out here fighting. We're not breaking no hips. We're not twisting our ankles. We will call the police. Okay, I'm not fighting a 20-year-old. I'm not in my 20s. I will call the police on your little young ass, okay? Objection, you will go to jail, bitch. Okay? You will go to jail. Auntie's calling the police. I'm not fighting you in the club. Okay? We're not doing that. So, no, that's not true. I know a lot of older women who are dating younger guys, and them young guys are T. Okay? Very handsome, have themselves together, because a lot of older women, like, we're not trying to raise nobody's fucking sons. You know what I'm saying? So you got to bring something to the table. You know, you got some older women that maybe they just want some young peen and that's their business. But for the most part, when it's like a real relationship, it is a real relationship. And them young girls be pissed. I seen how, what's her name? Cleopatra, the one that was going off about the older women dating younger guys, and she was just yelling and hooping and hollering. You know, it really does happen. So it's not always that. And then a lot of the younger guys are not going after older women because they have mommy issues. They want to be taken care of. A lot of older women are not playing that. Like, we're not raising nobody's kids. We're not taking care of no man. If I'm not going to take care of a 40-year-old man, damn sure not taking care of somebody in their 30s. Either you can step up to the mantle or keep it pushing. You know, so that's not always the case. They be pulling some badass young dudes. Be like, damn. Okay? So I don't know, my algorithm is stuck on like, I be seeing it. I don't know why my algorithm shows this, but literally that is all my algorithm is on TikTok, on Instagram, is younger guys, older ladies. So I be in this like algorithm. I'm like, okay, that is such a cute couple, you know, so it's just funny. So that's not necessarily true. Sarah said T got her a young thing. She's speaking from experience. You know, again, yeah, I've dated younger, but again, they chase me. I'm not chasing nobody younger. I refuse to. So, and you know, a lot of it is they just don't, when I'm out, they don't realize I'm as old as I am. Like, I'm going to tell y'all a story. When me and Emily were in Tennessee, so this is so funny. So we're in Tennessee, Emily smokes. So she was like, come me outside, you know, she wanted to smoke a cigarette, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So we go outside. We're in front of, you know, the place you can ride the bull and stuff. So we're in front of that place right there on Broad Street. And so these two white boys come out, you know, really handsome, you know, cute little white boys. They come out, whatever, and they start talking to us. And the one dude, you know, and they don't, you know, nobody knows I'm Lovely T. I don't go out like, oh, I'm Lovely T. Like you would, unless you recognize me, I don't say anything. Like, I'm not that type of person. I just, you know, I'm quiet. I'm just a regular person chilling in front of this club with my girl while she smokes a cigarette. And so, so the little white boys, they come out, you know, one's trying to holler at Emily, the other one's trying to holler at me. And so, you know, we're just talking to them. They were like real cool. And so, And he's like, where you from? I was like, I'm from Minnesota. He was like, oh, okay, I've never been up north. Da-da-da. I'm like, okay. I said, yeah, you should definitely check. We got the Mall of America, you know, Prince, you know, so we're just chopping it up. And so he was like, yeah, can I get your number? I said, wait, how old are you? Dude says he is 22. I said, oh, no. I said, that's not going to work. I said, you too young. He's like, what you mean I'm too young? I said, you don't know how old I am. I said, how you think I am? He was like, I don't know, like maybe 26, 27. I was like, oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart. And so I was like, I'm going to keep it real with you. I said, I have a son that's older than you. He was like, what? I said, yeah, I got a 24-year-old. Do you know what this little white boy told me? He said, well, I said, I got two sons. I said, I got a 19-year-old and a 24-year-old. The little white boy, 22 years old, said, well, do your boys need a stepdaddy? So when I tell you these little young boys, me and Emily just fell I was like, wait, what? Like, he asked to be my kid's stepfather. If you don't take a little young white ass on somewhere, sir, like me and Emily, I said, these little young dudes, they are bold. He asked if my sons need a stepdaddy. I was like, okay, on that note, you are so handsome, but no, nope. So it is just funny. So it's funny when people act like these little young dudes, they do not care. They be stepping. And even when you tell them like, hey, you know, I'm old enough for your mama, they don't care. They be like, what that mean? And he was cute. Body on point, nice teeth. But no, I'm not dating nobody who's 22. I'm not dating nobody younger than my child. That's just weird. So, yeah, I shut that down and kept it moving. But, yeah, you know, so it does happen. Somebody said, order in the court. So, I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's something. I don't know if it's just this generation. I don't know if it was the Flintstones vitamins that we took in the 80s and 90s, you know, drinking from garden hoses. But a lot of the women now in their late 30s and 40s look young, and a lot of the younger guys are going for older women. I don't know what it is. Because it's always been a thing for younger girls and older guys. That's nothing. I mean, that's a tale as old as time. But this new cougar cub thing, it's real. It is. So, on that note. Yeah, to me, 22 is a baby. I was like, yeah, no, absolutely not. And so I'm thinking he's going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, that would be awkward. Dude said, do your boys need a stepdaddy? Like my kids were 2 and 4 and not 24 and 19. They don't care. These little young boys do not care. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Cherry Cola sent 10 says the younger guys have dated women in their 20s and think they are immature. They have seen Unc be lonely, used, and alone, especially if they have a lot to lose. Yeah. And, you know, and I think part of it is social media. Like, I think it's, again, people can date who they want to date, right? As long as, I feel like dating somebody under the age of 25 when you're older, I don't like it because I just feel like your brain is not fully developed until you're 25. And I think at 25, you are able to make your own decision. But like under 25, I just find that way too young. But I also feel like because of social media has ruined the dating scene. That's what my sons tell me. It's like literally ruined the dating scene for a lot of young people because unfortunately, a lot of young girls had these expectations that are not realistic. Okay? You can't expect somebody who is 21, 22 years old to just trick off on you on the first date. Y'all want handbags and Ruth Chris and, you know, all this stuff when he's going to school just like you going to school. If you can't afford that for yourself as a young woman, as a 21, 22-year-old, if I can't afford to take myself to Ruth Chris, you can't necessarily put that expectation on somebody that's your same age. You know, like there has to be realistic expectations. And I think that's the problem with social media. It has warped a lot of people's expectations. So a lot of the young men are tired. And then a lot of these young women, you know, they're looking at their favorite IG baddie and they're wanting that lifestyle. And that's just not realistic for the real world. You know, in the real world, regardless of the situation, you have to work with your partner. You also have to bring something to the table. And I think everybody's looking for that, right? Men or women. You have to be realistic. I don't care what your age is. You have to bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the things that we see on social media, people need to realize it's a highlight reel. And you can't compare your real situation to somebody else, because comparison is the thief of joy. So you're looking at your favorite celebrity and her boyfriend or whoever she's with is getting her a Hermes bag and red bottoms, or, you know, getting her a brand new car. And then you're looking at your man who's busting his ass, who's working a 9 to 5, who's a good man overall. And you're looking at him like he's not doing enough. We're not going on vacations 3 times a year. Be grateful for the one vacation that you're going on. You know, stop comparing yourself to what you see on social media. And I think that's what has ruined a lot of relationships for young people. They have these weird expectations that they're not based in reality. They're just not. So I think that's why you're seeing the difference in the age dating. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's interesting. Y'all got me cracking over these comments. Aquastar said the dating expectations are crazy. They really are. They really are. Like, people will come, like, I remember my son was telling me, it was like he was going out with this girl. First date, it's like she wanted to go to Fogo de Chao. Fogo de Chao ain't cheap. So he was like, okay, you know, we could go there. And then after that, she wanted a section at the club. Like, bitch, what? Like, this ain't a fucking music video. So you want Fogo de Chao, and then I'm supposed to also take you to the club and pay $600 for a section? I don't even know your middle name. You know, so it's just like, it's too much. It's too much. Some of these young girls are delusional because of what they're seeing on social media, just like some of these young men are delusional. You know, you want somebody to submit to you, and, you know, you want somebody to play wifey and cook your dinner and do your laundry. Meanwhile, you're the king of the living room. I'm not cooking shit and I'm not doing no laundry if the only thing you bring to the table is your fucking Xbox profile. We're not doing that. So it's like, you know, these expectations are just insane. They really are. You can't expect somebody to submit to you and take care of you, and the only thing you want to, you know, your only domain is my living room. Absolutely not. So people need to have real expectations for each other. You know? So, yeah, man, social media has done a number on us. Somebody said Fogo's cheap during lunch. Well, she wanted dinner. Okay, she wanted dinner and a section. And he was like, absolutely not. Next. So, again, we have to have realistic expectations. You know, maybe you're not going on vacation 3-4 times a year. The average person saves up to go on vacation one time, once a year. But again, you're living vicariously through other people's highlight reels. You know? So, just got to keep that in mind. Yeah, bringing nothing but an Xbox profile to the table. Absolutely not, sir. Okay? All right, let me go ahead and read a few more then. Oh, I've been on here already. An hour and 19 minutes. Time is flying, child. Let's see here. Hara Beauty sent 10 says, sis, did you see the story about the Texan African woman who was missing but found in an African lost tribe in Scotland? New York Post reported this. I swear my home country is Scotland and the U.S. are crazy. What? I didn't hear about that. I'm going to have to look into that story. So she went missing. Then they found her in an African lost tribe in Scotland. That just sounds crazy as hell. I'm going to have to look into that. Thank you for the super chat, sis. Kirby Wiggins says, I'm 67 years old, but I don't think very many cat daddies can walk those 3 miles a day like me. I don't want no broke down old zaddy, even if he's a millionaire. Okay, Miss Kirby. Miss Kirby says she want her a young one. Okay? So all the 30-year-olds in the chat, go ahead and slide into Miss Kirby's DM. She don't want no zaddy. Okay? She wants Craig and them who got themselves together. She said she want her a young one. I know that's right. Let's see here. Tara Squad says it was definitely them Flintstones vitamins and drinking from the water hose. I agree. I definitely agree. That is too funny. Scary for Aries. Hopefully I said that right. She said 499. She says, I'm 23 years old. A lot of the guys our age can be a little too feminine. the guys want you to ask them out. I've been hearing that too. And again, the problem is a lot of these young people are listening to these podcasts, these red pill podcasts, and they're being told that they are the chase and that women should be chasing them. And y'all are going to spend y'all's 20s in these weird silent battles, and it's sad. And this is why the birth rate is declining. You know what I'm saying? Because when we were growing up, we didn't approach guys. And I still had that mentality. That's how we grew up. You didn't approach a guy. A guy was supposed to approach you and ask for your phone number because it showed that he was interested in you. I would be mortified. Like, it scares me, honestly, to approach a guy. Like, there's guys I've seen, I'm like, oh, he's cute. But if he doesn't approach me, well, it wasn't meant to be. I'm not approaching a guy. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these podcasts is that they're teaching young men that they're supposed to be chased. That's not how it works in the wild. Lions chase lionesses, you know? So it's sad because the girls are here, they want to be asked out on dates, but the guys are like, oh, they're so red-pilled, you know, you should be chasing me. And that's so backwards. If you like somebody, and, you know, and I get it, you know, feminism and all that, well, you can approach a guy, it's not a big deal. I just wasn't raised like that. I'm not approaching a man. I'm not doing that. If you are into me, you come to me and you step to me like a man. I'm not doing it. So, and I think that's the saddest part because a lot of young women, they do want to be approached. They do find a guy cute, but you know, they were raised old school and these guys are not approaching. So I can see how that can be very frustrating. And so, like I was saying earlier, sometimes, unfortunately, as women, you can't win. It's like, you know, if you're the one doing the chasing, oh, she's a 304. But then if you don't chase, oh, she's an old maid. If you want to have kids, oh, she's a single mother having kids. If you don't want to have kids, why don't you want to have kids? It's your fault the birth rate is declining. It's like you can't win for lose. It's crazy. It's like you really cannot win for lose, you know? So you just, you know, again, you just have to do you and live your life, you know, at this point. You just do. But I believe that if you like somebody, if you're feeling them as a man, you should be the one approaching them. That's just my opinion. I really feel that way. You should be the one approaching them and letting them know that, hey, you know, I'm feeling you. I like you, you know, whatever. It shouldn't be the other way around. And I think it's sad that we live in this day and age. So what is going on? YouTube is literally asking me to verify my account in the middle of a stream. YouTube is bugging. Hold on. This is so weird. Yes, it's me. All right. That is so weird. Why is YouTube doing that? Okay, it's working now. It made me stop and verify my account. It's me says I approached my husband. Yeah, you know, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with approaching a man. I just said for me, I'm just too scared to like go up to a man like, oh, can I get your number? I don't, it's just weird for me. I'm, you know, again, but to each its own. I don't think that if you see a person, you want to go for the chase, do that. But I do think that it's weird that so many men feel like they should be chased, that women should be coming up to them. I just think that that's strange. That's what like a lot of these red pillars push, you know. But I mean, if you see something that you like, go for it. I remember there was this UPS guy. He came to my door. He was so fine. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's so handsome. And I just smiled and shut the door. I was like, damn, he was fine. But if I was bored, I probably would have been like, oh, hey, you know, you're really cute, you know. But I just shut the door and was like, damn, he was fine. Next. All right, so let me go ahead. Let's talk about the next topic here. I wanted to get on was the Burger King lady. So if you guys remember, this young lady, her name is Nikea. She went viral a month ago because she was the only one working at her Burger King. And so a lady was filming her and was saying that she needs help. This is crazy. She's the only one. She's making the food and doing the dishes and, you know, everything else. And I remember I had the same situation happen to me a few years ago. This was like during C19, where I was in line at Burger King. All I wanted was some fries, and I was in the drive-thru for 20 minutes. And when I got up to the window, I was pissed. And I'm like, what is going on? I've been waiting here for 20 minutes. And the young man was like, I'm so sorry. It's just me. There's no one else here. He's like, I'm doing everything. So when he showed me that, I was like, oh, wow. So anger went out the window, paid for my food, and told him good luck. So it's sad that Burger King is still on this, and they're still not staffing the way that they should staff. So let's go ahead and watch this really quick. Watch her story, because we just got an update of what happened to her. So give me just a second here. Okay.
Behind, she's doing everything she needs to do to make sure everybody is okay up in here.
Right now, a TikTok video is putting the spotlight on a Midlands fast food worker who's been seen running an entire Burger King location in Columbia all by herself. The emotional post sparking conversations online about labor shortages, long hours, and the struggle to make ends meet. Tonight, we hear from the woman in the video, a mother of three, who says she's doing everything she can to keep going, even when it means doing it all by herself.
All right, just tell me your first and last name.
Nakia Hamilton.
Spell it for me.
NYKIAHAMilton.
And you say you've been working here for about 3 months now.
Yeah.
Kind of tell me about that night when the video went viral. I mean, you were just working.
Yeah, because one of my employees just quit on me, and they ain't had nobody else to come in. So I had to work by myself, to close by myself, had to do the dishes, do prep, do floor, do front counter, drive-through. There ain't no shutting down drive-through and let people come in because it's too much. Trying to run and take orders, then got to run back. So it was just a lot. Then last night I closed again by myself last night. I finally got help today. And she been here since 11 o'clock. She about to close with us at 11. So we just ain't got no employees. Nobody want to work no more. So.
Okay, so you have 3 children. You work 2 jobs. Kind of just tell people more about yourself and why you, because some people on social media was like, I would have just closed the store and left. Like, yeah. What made you want to stay?
Because, shout out to my general manager, Rhonda. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have no job. Because I do have a record. And it's hard to find a job with a record. And by grace of God, she gave me a job. So that's the only reason why I stayed for her. Because if I knew it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have a job.
So basically, to you, some people will say this is negative, but for you, you have a second chance.
Yeah, because end of the day, I got 3 kids to take care of. Ain't nobody gonna help me take care of them. I'm a single mother, so I still gotta feed them. And I got a child that's about to go to school, so.
And my last question is, for someone that may see that video and be like, oh, she working hard, like whatever, it's like, this is what you chose. What would you tell them to say, like, hey, we're all just trying out in the world?
Yeah, I mean, everybody didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I did. My mom been a single mother of 4 kids. I'm a single mother of 3 kids. You gotta do what you gotta do. Either you want us to work or either you want to go out here and rob, steal, and kill. I mean, which one you want?
So you just trying to do your work?
I'm trying to do my best. I got 3 babies. they depend on me. They love me. At the end of the day, I do it for them. Because every time I get off, especially my 2-year-old, mommy, she loved me soon as I walk through the door. My son, sometimes I bring my son to work with me because I be trying to spend as much time with them as I can, knowing that I work a lot.
Alright. And I did reach out to Burger King to get their opinion because I had to, but I don't want people to think like this is bash Burger King. So just like how you speak about your general manager, can you just say something positive like this is not bad? What happened?
Burger King is not a bad establishment. Mostly, we have managers working. It's just that we need more pay. And employees, they don't want to work. Like I said, you agree to the pay, then you quit. If we can get a little better pay, then we can get employees. That's all. That's all.
And can't you like people to know that's seeing this on TikTok that's like, what's going on?
Everybody that's saying they will close the store, everybody's story different. If I would have closed the store, I would have been fined. So I can't close the store, but I thank everybody for the support. I thank you for coming out and looking up my story and everything. It just really touched me because you all know I went through a lot. I go through a lot. So y'all know y'all made me cry. So thank y'all. I really appreciate that. I'm about to cry now, Lord. But yeah, so I really appreciate it. Y'all understand. I work a lot.
emotional?
Because I be missing my kids' life and I work a lot. So I be have to provide for them and I really don't be having time to spend with them. And it hurts me a lot. So hopefully one day I will have to worry so much and I can actually be there for them.
She's such a sweet lady. Let me come back on the screen here. Oh, it's so much. So now, after all of that, she went viral last month. I know people like, I want to say they might have set up a GoFundMe for her. I'm not, sure. But yesterday, so she did have a GoFundMe. And it raised over $50,000. Okay, thank you, Monarch. Because I was thinking she had a GoFundMe. So it raised over $50,000. So yesterday I'm online and I see her come to my feed and she's crying. She's been fired. And a lot of people were hating on her, talking about, she took the GoFundMe money and bought jewelry and some more mess. So I think a lot of jealousy came from this situation because of the fame that she got that she did not ask for. So we're going to go ahead and watch this video. This is on TikTok. Let's see here. Let me... All right, let me go ahead and play this video here.
But Evergreen fired me because I've been late because of my kids, bro. My kids come first. And now when y'all gonna watch my kids? Y'all don't pay for no babysitter, no nothing. But it's cool that everybody talking about because I bought jewelry and shit for my money. That shit came from Shein. I'm not buying no real jewelry when I got bills and shit. What y'all mad? Y'all had PPP loans and did that with y'all money? The fuck? I'm already aggravated. I'm pissed. I'm already depressed. I'm going through this mental shit and motherfucking fucking with me. Just leave me alone, bro. This shit aggravating at this point. I don't even care, bro. Y'all can have all this shit. I ain't want no fame, no money. But Evergreen fired me because I've been late because of my kids, bro. My kids come first. And now when y'all gonna watch my kids? Y'all don't pay for no babysitter, no nothing. But it's cool that everybody talking about because I bought jewelry and shit for my money. That shit came from Shein. I'm not buying no real jewelry when I got bills and shit. What y'all mad? Y'all had PPP loans and did that with y'all money? The fuck? I'm already aggravated. I'm pissed. I'm already depressed. I'm going through this mental shit and motherfucking fucking with me. Just leave me alone, bro. This shit aggravating at this point. I don't even...
This is sad. Let me come back on the screen. So, she's been fired. She's saying that she was fired because she was late. She couldn't find a sitter. And I think the saddest part of this, it just shows that these companies have no loyalty. Not only did this girl go viral, she didn't ask to go viral. She wasn't, filming herself at work, looking for attention. Like, look, y'all, I'm by myself at work. Somebody filmed her and she went viral. The community decided to bless her with the GoFundMe where she earned $50,000. She could have took that money, quit Burger King, and went and found a different job, used her virality, because she was viral to go do something else, get a better paying job. But it says a lot about her integrity, the fact that she stayed at Burger King, even though she got that much money in GoFundMe. And so for them to fire her, I feel like there was some jealousy there. Maybe the owner felt away after a while because this employee got all the fame, was getting the GoFundMe money, especially when they know that she has 3 kids. And I'm not saying that it's okay to be late, but again, she was the one holding down your restaurant when the other employee quit on her. So she was good enough to sit there and run your entire establishment. She was the cashier. She was the fry cook. She was the dishwasher. She opened and she closed. So it was okay for her to do all those tasks. But now you can't even do her a favor, and look out for her because she was late because she wasn't able to find a babysitter. So it's just sad. To me, it just screams a lot of jealousy. They felt a way about her fame. But because this young lady, she's made mistakes in her life. She went to prison, for a while. So she can't even get any type of job. She was just so grateful the fact that this manager hired her with her felony and everything else and gave her a chance, that she felt like she owed it to her manager to stay and, just fight the fight with her. And so for her to just be fired like that, it just shows you these companies do not have any loyalty. And it's really, really sad. But at the end of the day, she's still going to be blessed Because like I said, she could have took that GoFundMe money and quit the next day and tricked it off and did what she wanted to do. And she hasn't done that. And I think that's the saddest part, is that a lot of people will say, like we were talking about earlier, you know, she's a single mother. She has 3 kids. And people will demonize her just for that. But this is somebody who's not, you know, trying to just sit on the system. She's actually trying to work and provide for her kids. And it's like she just gets hit again. And the fact that she's saying that her mental health is declining lets me know that she's dealing with some deeper stuff. There's a lot of jealousy on the back end. People are feeling away about the money that she's made, the fame that she's gotten. She was saying, I didn't ask for this. She didn't. So I think that there's things that are being said to her and the way people are treating her in her personal life. People feeling like they should get some of her money, probably have her hand out, shaming her. So I really feel bad for her. That made me sad to see that, because I wasn't expecting her to be fired. You know, if anything, I would think that they would move her up to like management and, you know, move her to a better store, to a better position. So it's really sad, all the stuff that's going on. Yes, these companies will use you, and then just get rid of you and not think twice about it. Just like how many black women have been fired from their corporate jobs as of late, from their degree holding jobs, with no explanation, no reason why, just let go. So I feel really bad for her. Hopefully somebody else in her city will be able to hire her and give her a better paying job with benefits and everything else, you know, in spite of her social media fame. And she just doesn't seem like the type who wants, like, everybody doesn't want to take their virality and then start making TikTok videos. She doesn't seem like the type who wants to, you know, put her whole life on TikTok. She just wants to work and provide for her children. So I hope that everything starts working out for her. I hope somebody else looks out for her and gets her another job. But that's really sad. You can tell she is heartbroken that she lost that job. And, you know, what's even sadder to me is, where are the fathers? Or the father? You know, where is he at? She has all these minor children. Her youngest, she said, is 2. It's like, you know, I wish he would step up and help out so everything wasn't on her. But she's doing the best with what she has. So she should be very proud of herself. That just made me really sad to see, like, because she was really in there holding it down. And it reminded me of that young man when I went through the Burger King drive-thru during C19, because I was so annoyed. And I'm just like, I just wanted something to eat real quick. And it just, you know, sitting there for 20 minutes, like, what is going on? And then as soon as he explained that he was the only one in the restaurant, I was like, wow, cool. Say less. I'm not even mad. You know? It's like a lot of these folks are like really holding down these companies. And now you got these companies just like, these CEOs are making millions, multi-millions of dollars. And the people who are actually there doing the work, they're lucky if they're even breaking minimum wage. So it's sad. I just hope she ends up finding something better. She deserves it. Let's see here. Per person, $5 says exactly 100. I have no kids at 37, a career and a degree. Men tell me there's something wrong with me, but if I had kids and no father, then I'm no good. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, it's like, it's a double-edged sword for women. You know, even with this young lady, she has 3 kids, she's working, she's trying to do what she has to do, and people will still knock her for being a single mother. But then somebody who don't have no kids and a degree, who's just like, I'm waiting for the right person, you're a red flag as well. So it's like, we just can't win. You know, that's why I say you have to live your life, and you can't worry too much about what people say on social media, what these podcasters are saying, because half of them talking shit are not even living the life that they're portraying. Because I think recently, dude from Fresh and Fit, he was outed on Twitter. If I'm not mistaken, they were dragging him on Twitter yesterday because he claimed that the girlfriend that he had, she allowed him to cheat, she packed his condoms, all this stuff. And then they found out that the girlfriend is dating somebody else. And she did a podcast saying that her and the guy from Fresh and Fit, I think it was Myron, that they didn't even have sex like that. So that's why I say you have to take a lot of these podcasts with a grain of salt. Let me see if I can find it. It was going viral. Yeah, here it is. Somebody said they just found out his girlfriend. It was all over Twitter. That's why I just say, like, please take these podcasts with a grain of salt, because a lot of these people are just full of shit. They just want your money. They want your attention. They want your views. They're really not living that life. You know what I'm saying? They're only going to show you a highlight reel of their life. That's just not how relationships work. If you're in a true relationship with somebody who loves you, I mean, think about that as a man, right? Because I have sons. I'm a boy's mom. If my son is in a committed relationship with a female and she's packing condoms for him when he goes out of town, the first thing I'm going to think as a mom is, bitch, who are you fucking when my son's out of town working? Because ain't no way in hell, if you're in a real relationship with real love and structure, that I'm going to be packing condoms for my man when he's going out of town. What happened to my man being faithful while he's out of town at work? But see, this is a nonsense that's being planted into young men's minds, and they're thinking this is normal. This is what's being planted into females, young women, to think that this is normal, that you should be packing condoms for your man, not your side dude, not your jump off, your man, your committed relationship. That is insane. So I found the video here. Like I said, it's on TikTok.
Well, when was the last time you had a girlfriend prior to Angie?
Not really.
Okay, so you've never had a girlfriend in your life until you dated a foreign girl.
Not like a, yeah.
The big relationship expert finally has a girlfriend. Let's see how it's going for him.
Thank you, Angie. She's been great, guys. Truly one of the best ladies ever. Best women.
Instead of staying with Amaru in NYC, Angie decides to go rollerblading.
Solo cast tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, Angie won't be here, unfortunately. I wish she was here, but she's got to leave.
Get Ready Festival. I'm not reading all that. So I guess this is from her Instagram, where she's doing her thing with this rollerblading group. Keep the guy who's sitting on Angie's left in mind. We're going to refer to him as Don Juan from this point on. He'll have a much important role later. Damn, she's breaking this down. Amaru says he never leaves his house, has no social life, but Angie's very understanding and supportive. This is the last time Amaru...
I take that seriously, guys, and I've given up...
Who is Amaru? Is that his real name, is Amaru? What? His name is Amaru. I thought it was Myron. Oh my gosh. Okay.
my social life to do so. I've been sitting inside. The only time I go outside, you guys want to know the truth? The painful truth? I only really go outside when I do the fucking debates, man. If I'm be honest with y'all niggas, bro. Like, yo, I literally only go outside to do the debates. I barely leave my building. Because you guys know me, I'll work, bro. I'll give up my social life. I don't give a fuck. You know? Angie's very understanding. She takes Frank whenever I need him. She helps me with groceries and shit. So Angie's very understanding. I haven't seen her in a bit. I'm not going to lie to you guys. She actually came by real quick on when I was doing the table shit.
When do you have time for a relationship?
You know, as of recently, man, it's been tough, bro. I'm not going to lie, man. It's been tough as of recently, especially the past year.
Most of the people that I know that are very successful, they don't focus on the relationship as much as they focus on what they feel like is necessary for them to do to win.
Oh, yeah. I'd be lying to you if I told you that my relationship was awesome. And I was like, no, man, like my social life, I had 100% transparent, gone, cooked, finito. I'm streaming all day. And then when I'm not streaming, I'm researching, reading the news and stuff like that. And then, you know, make sure I have a topic. So yeah, my social life is absolutely suffered as a part of this. Like, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I got it great. No, hell no, man. It's fucking cooked.
Do you have a missus? Do you have a girl?
That's irrelevant to the question.
No, like I just don't know
I'm asking you.
I want to get to know you.
That's irrelevant. We're having an objective discussion. Women that are sex workers.
Do you have
struggle.
a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? That's what I thought. The fuck? Like,
What does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. Like, it just means like you can't even get it yourself. So like you are telling me I can't. Like, what's that? I don't get that.
I want to know your argument first because that is like crazy, bro. Don't you have like a girlfriend or like a wife or something? Like somebody you
All right, bro.
appreciate?
We went over this a million times. Somebody else, because I don't want to
You really gonna
rehash
do
the
that,
same
bro?
argument again. Yeah. Somebody else.
This video is pretty long. We're not going to keep going. But again, the point is, y'all, take these social media podcast gurus with a grain of salt. A lot of them are not living the lifestyle that they're proclaiming. You know, how's this man giving any type of dating advice when his so-called girlfriend, Angie, you'll see later on in the video, she's roller skating with the guy, Don Juan. And that's where she's at. She's in a relationship with that other guy. And she later on admitted that her and Myron weren't even having sex. But this is a man who's sitting here telling young people that you should get a woman that's submissive, who cooks, cleans, fucks like a freak, and then packs you condoms when you go out of town. It's like to give that type of advice and you're not even living that type of advice, you're not even living that type of lifestyle is insane. So again, take all of these gurus and podcasters, take them with a grain of salt. Don't let them dictate the way that you move in life and the things that you want in your life. If you want to be 37 and not have any kids until the right person comes along, now granted, there is a biological clock. We're not going to act like there's not. But if you wanted to wait to have children later on in life, that is your business. If, you happen to be a teen mom and things happen, that is your business. At the end of the day, we all have one life to live. And you have to do what makes you happy, and you have to figure it out. And I think that's, like I said, this is why a lot of people are in these situations is because they listen to social media, they watch social media, they want to emulate social media. All of this stuff sounds good on our podcast. Things look good on Instagram, but in the real world, it does not translate. Nobody who's in a healthy, committed relationship is going to pack condoms for their partner. Because at that point, if I have to pack condoms for my man, bitch, I'm getting some side dick too. If it gets to the point where I'm having to pack you condoms, oh, best believe when you go out of town, my side dude, he's coming through. You're not going to be the only one cheating. We're going to cheat together if that's the games that we want to play. So I just think that's disgusting. She's supposed to be submissive and monogamous to you, but you can be out here doing X, Y, and Z. That's not how life works. It's just not. And another thing, y'all better also understand that HIV epidemic that I've been talking about for the past few months, it's getting worse. It came out earlier this week, and I'm going to do a video on it when I get a chance. 20,000 new cases of HIV just hit Atlanta. So while, a lot of these podcasts are promoting hookup culture and just running through these chicks and these 304s and just paying for ass and everything else, understand that there are more and more consequences for living that lifestyle. Understand that monogamy and being faithful and being in a committed relationship where two people have integrity and trust each other, that can save your life. But when you want to be out here, having sneaky links and being a player, you may be, exposing yourself and your partner to HIV. So it's getting real out here. And I just hate the fact that they're not having these real conversations and they're making it seem like this is what's real. This is what a relationship is. Having a so-called good woman at home that you're still allowed to cheat on because you're a man. That is insane. Yeah, it's bad out here. $20,000 new cases in Atlanta. And again, it's the culture. And not just in Atlanta, it's just the culture that I see on social media. Nobody wants to get into real relationships. Like the young girl said, I'm 23. Guys are not approaching us. They want to be chased. Everything is hookup culture. These young people don't even know how to date. It's just swipe left, swipe right. They all know how to fuck, but they don't know how to date. And this is why the STDs are on the rise. It's the mentality. There's no chase anymore. You literally can meet somebody tonight and hook up with them tonight because there's no shame, there's no judgment. And then when people like me speak up on it, we're mean, we're sex negative. Remember years ago when I was talking about the whole thing with Tiana Taylor when she was on that hobo tour with Iman. Oh yeah, we be going around, we be busting bitches down. Why are you promoting this? When we were introduced to you, Tiana, you were a virgin. You were a proud virgin. And we were proud of you. When that damn basketball player took your virginity and broke your heart, we were pissed for you. And now you're bragging to young girls about, you know what I'm saying, busting bitches down with your husband. And when I called that out, like people drug me. Oh, you're being judgmental. No, bitch, I'm being real. This is disgusting. And her marriage is not going to last. And now fast forward 5 years, it did not last. And now this weirdo is suing her and running her in and out of court. You got to watch what you put out there and what you promote. It's sad. And, you know, again, a lot of young people saw that and they thought that that's what a relationship is. It's just random hookups and being what they call a unicorn in a relationship. And now we wonder 5 years later why the STD rates are just skyrocketing all around the country. Atlanta, Houston is off the chain. A lot of cities right now. So just be smart. Be smart. Yeah, the hobo sex tour was a trip. It really was. Let's see here. Camille says this ties into your last video, T. Black women are being let go regardless if they are exceeding expectations. Exactly. And it's really sad that's what happened to her because she more than exceeded. Imagine if she would have left and went home too. Like, I'm not dealing with all this. That manager would have been forced to come in and run their own store. So for them to basically fire her, to me, is disgusting. It's crazy. And I just hope she ends up finding something better. So thank you. Let's see here. Wavy Tay sent $9.99, says, Auntie, I know this is not one of your topics, but can you hit on Lil Nas X running around half naked in LA and hospitalized for ODing? I think it's demonic. I think his demonic energy caught up to him. I saw that. I didn't know if it was real because he's also shooting a music video. I take anything going on with Lil Nas X as a grain of salt because he's such an attention whore. To me, he's the little boy that cried wolf. So I don't even know if this is real or not. I did see the video, but I don't know if it's for promo, if he's going to pop up 2 days from now and be like, it was just a joke. Y'all take stuff too personal. I can't take him seriously. You know, hopefully he did not overdose, but I don't know. I can't. Everything he does is for attention, so I don't know if it's even a real situation. But thank you for the super chat, love. Kiana H says, I'm 24 with a 31-year-old husband who is truly a masculine man who provides. LOL. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Not at all. You're with your husband. You're 24. You're happy. That's all that matters. You're of age. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you freshly 18. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. You know, do what works for you in your relationship. So thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. Eat, Slay, Pray says, I'm 33. When I was in Vegas with my sister for the Beyonce concert, I was hit on by multiple young men, 19 to 21 mostly. Tell them that I'm married with a child and they act happily. They do not care. Yeah. I keep telling y'all, they do not care. They're trying to be stepdaddies at 22 to stepchildren who are older than they asses. So thank you for the super chat, sis. Shy B sent $50, says, hey T, I'm a supervisor for my department. I feel like the greatest tool our success is empathy. When you thank people and give grace when things happen in their personal life, they show up for you through and through. I definitely agree with that. Thank you so much for the super chat, love. Appreciate you. Rose Marin sent $4.99, says he just doesn't want to get recognized and jump. That's why he stays inside. What a loser. I agree. I think he has a lot of beef out here. So I'm not surprised that he stays in the house. All right, let me see here. We got, we still got some more topics. I've been on here for 2 hours. This has been a good stream, y'all. So I want to hit on the newest thing that's going on with pregnancy. So let me pull that up really quick here. Where's that at? Okay, so China is now unveiling their pregnancy robot. So it's getting real out here. It's getting scary. What's going on right now with technology is frightening. So we're going to go ahead and watch this video from Weon. Give me just a second here. All right.
What was once confined to the dark visions of science fiction is now becoming a stark reality. Scientists in China have unveiled a concept that could forever change the meaning of life and parenthood and what it is to be human. A new arms race is underway, not for military might, but for the very process of creation. Here's more.
Imagine a world where the act of pregnancy is no longer a human experience but a technological one. A world where babies are grown in a sterile, artificial womb inside a machine. Something depicted in sci-fi cult movie The Matrix, it's the audacious new reality being pursued by Chinese scientists. They are developing what they claim is the world's first pregnancy robot, a humanoid surrogate capable of carrying a baby to term and giving birth. This machine, they say, will be equipped with a cutting-edge artificial womb that receives nutrients through a complex network of hoses and tubes. The humanoid, priced at around $1,400, being reportedly developed by Kaiwa Technology, a Guangzhou-based tech company. But with every breakthrough comes a burning question. Just because we can, should we? For centuries, pregnancy has been the most human of experiences. Replacing it with machines sparks fierce ethical debate. What does it mean for the sanctity of motherhood and the human bond between parent and child? There is also the question about who will control these artificial wombs. Will babies become products designed, engineered, manufactured? Critics warn of a slippery slope where life itself is commodified. Will the rich buy robo-surrogates while others grapple with infertility or medical risks? The implications are enormous, and the world is watching closely. Bureau Report, Weon World is One.
That is extremely scary. That is scary. They're literally taking the human experience. You know, there's nothing more sacred than motherhood. And it just reminds me of The Matrix. You know, it's so interesting how everything, you know, was foreshadowed in so many of these TV shows and movies, and now everything's coming to pass. To have like an artificial pregnancy robot. And then my thing is, okay, you're able to inject these babies with nutrients, but what happens to the soul? Is anybody looking at that part of it? Are these children going to be born with a soul? Are these children going to be technically really human? Like, that is really disturbing. And this is where, like, technology to me is such a slippery, scary slope. Because now you're messing with what it means to be human. And I knew once we started with surrogacy, it was only up from there. And again, I'm not knocking surrogacy and people implanting their embryos into other people, you know, because people want to be parents, but back in the day, if you wanted to be a parent, you know, and you weren't able to have children, you became a foster parent. You adopted children. There's so many kids who need adoption. But in our day and age, it's like, no, I want to see my DNA. I want to see a kid who looks like me. So, or I just don't want to be fat or deal with pregnancy. So we're just going to have somebody else carry the baby. So, you know, started with that. And now it's like, it's a super slippery slope. And once again, this also goes into designer babies. Because what are these babies supposed to look like? Are these going to be babies who are black, Asian? Are they going to be European babies, blonde hair, blue eyed? It's a lot. It's a lot when you think about how deep that rabbit hole goes. It's very, very scary. I don't like it. Somebody say Elon's going to be the top investor. I could see that. And I think they're also doing this because they need more slaves. They need more workers. You know, people are being fired. They can't afford to pay their workers. They need people out there in the fields. Human beings are not human beings, meaning that human beings, like all around the world, the birth rates are declining because there's such a fracture between the men and the women. So birth rates are declining. People don't want to have children. One, because it's very expensive nowadays. The tariffs, the price, you know, the cost of living. So a lot of people are opting not to have children. So I think this is being done deeper than just, oh, you know, for people who want a baby and can't have one. There's going to be a very sinister agenda behind this. These are babies that are going to be raised to, you know, these are going to be the new workers. These are going to be the new humans once they get rid of the useless eaters. So yeah, China's doing the most. China's doing the most. So I wanted to make y'all aware of that in case that you guys were not aware of that as of yet. Yeah, it's insane. Okay, let's see here. Cherry Cola says at one point they were killing all the girls at birth. Yeah, I remember that. Back in the day, the one-child policy. They were abandoning little girls and killing them. And 20 years later, the population in China is so messed up. There's way more men in China. And a lot of these men, there's no mates for them. So a lot of them are having to date robots and, you know, date outside of China. Again, anytime you mess with nature, the natural balance of nature, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. So I think that's why they're running to like start these, you know, humanoid robots that carry children. Sparkly Harusin 499 says, as a biologist, this is impossible. Pregnancy also requires the brain of the mother. Many hormones are controlled by the brain for fetal development. Yeah, it might be impossible now, but like we just never know. You know, with this technology, it's just scary to think about. You know, the point that they're even trying this is insane. Because like I said earlier, you know, even if they're able to come up with all the hormones, what about the soul? At what point, like, you can't recreate a soul? That is something, I don't know when the soul enters the body, but that's something that's divine. That's from God. Because once your soul ceases to exist, you're dead. So at one point in time, where does the soul come in? It's very scary to think about. But thank you for the super chat, love. Miss B says, proof that women are powerful and you need women's wombs. Yeah. And that's what was so scary when they were doing the uterus transplant a few years ago. They were doing like these uterus transplants. And my thing is, one, where are they getting these uteruses from? Okay, it's not like uteruses are just, you know, strewn around. Like you had to get them from a real human woman. So where are these uteruses coming from? And then two, where are y'all implanting them? Because I remember initially trying to implant them into like transgender women or whatever so they could give birth. But I don't think that ended up working out too well. But it's scary everything that they're trying to do to create like a new race of humans. It's insane. Let's see here. Leroy Jones sent $9.99. He says, I love your content. I just want to know your opinions on the guy who was shot on Facebook Live here in Chicago. I saw that video. What is his name? I don't know if he was a rapper. He's kind of an older gentleman. He had on a bunch of jewelry. He was live streaming. And then somebody came into the car, asked for his jewelry, and he jumped out the car. I don't know if he was jumping out to G-check them, but they ended up shooting him. Then I saw his brother came on live a few days later and felt like it was a setup, and he was screaming and going off. It was sad. It was really sad that that man lost his life for some jewelry. Again, they said, well, I can't think of his name. If y'all can write his name in the chat. You have to be very, very mindful of going live in real time. And I think a lot of people have gotten very comfortable with social media, you know, going live, telling people where they're at and things like that. And especially when you're in the streets, when you're still in the streets or you have street ties. Because, you know, some of these YNs, they do not care. You don't want to be broadcasting your location in real time. And I think that's how they were able to set them up. Tug, thank you. The Truth Trill, OG Tug. That was his name. Yeah, I felt like it was a setup. They had been watching him. But again, I think it's even sad because these are things that you expect from like the younger generation, like Gen Z, you know, because they grew up on social media. That's all they know. They're always, you know, live streaming where they're at. But it's like for a lot of us older folks, like millennials, Gen X's, why are y'all live streaming live? We didn't even grow up with this type of technology. Like when I go out with my friends, people know when I'm out and about, do not post any pictures of me in real time. Do not post that I'm with Lovely Team. Don't post my shit in real time. Because I did that one time where I had said I'm on my way to the airport and somebody showed up at the airport to meet me. And I was like, never the fuck again. You know, so you have to be very, very mindful of that. Granted, not everybody means harm, right? But, you know, I want to live in the moment. I want to enjoy my time and space where I'm at. And everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing right there and then. So I hate the fact that as old as he was just streaming in real time. And on the block where people knew that he was streaming, he was focused on his stream. And then that person comes up wanting his jewelry. So it's sad. Chicago's still going through a lot. Still going through a lot. But yeah, just be careful. You know, don't be out there broadcasting what you're doing live in real time. Somebody said his own cousin, it was many people around there and they did nothing. Yeah, that's what the brother was saying, that it was a lot of people around and they didn't even warn him. They said that there had been a car. He watched the police video. There had been a car sitting there for like 10 minutes and nobody told him anything. So it's sad. Yeah, you just never know people's intentions. And especially, you know, the wolves is out. You know, people are struggling right now. Times are hard. And so you're coming to the hood. You're coming around people who are struggling with real jewelry. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it at all. So let's talk about, before I go here, I want to hit on the situation with Evelyn Lozada. Once again, all these celebrities starting podcasts. So she started a podcast with her daughter, Shanice. And then she also did an interview with the Shade Room to talk about, because we all know her daughter, Shanice, had a baby recently with the Game. And Tiffany Cambridge, who was the Game's baby mama, a lot of people said that, you know, the situation does not look right because Shanice has been around the Game since she was young. And Tiffany was Evelyn's friend. And so a lot of people have been calling that out. So Evelyn is finally addressing that situation. Then on her podcast, she also goes on to talk about colorism. So let's watch where she clears the air about Tiffany and her daughter, which I'm not buying, but let's watch it. So give me just a second here. Oh, hold on. All right. So let's go ahead and watch this real quick.
You to readdress some of it.
All right, well, let's talk about it. Oh my God, are you going to bring Tiffany up?
Yes.
Poor Tiffany. I'm sorry. I feel like she must be. Listen, I'll tell you this.
I got follow-ups. Okay.
Me and Tiffany don't have a dog in this fight.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm like, I'm in this situation by default.
Because people think that you and Tiffany were really close friends and that Shanice was around. Tiffany and the game, we'll call him the game so people are familiar. I know y'all be calling him Jay. Jayceon. So people think that, you know, Shanice was 12 years old sitting on his lap, and that you and Tiffany were friends, and then now your daughter is dating him.
Yeah.
Or has a child by him. So that is not true.
No, it is not true. It's literally like a lie that took a world of its own. Like, people say anything. It's not true. I think, you know, the photo of my baby shower, people will find anything. And she was at my baby shower. There were a lot of people at my baby shower.
The feeling is, well, you must be close enough to invite someone to your
Of
baby
course,
shower.
but people also don't understand industry.
Okay.
Right? You got to think about, we're all on VH1.
Yes.
When the first time I met Tiffany and Jay, they were filming their reality show. Me and Chad pulled up and we filmed the scene on their show because we had a show on VH1.
I haven't watched that show, but I know people always reference their reality show and say that you guys were on the show and you were calling Shanice their niece.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
I gotta find the clip and see if that's a thing. But people are saying that you guys were calling her, or Tiffany was calling her niece. So is that just showbiz?
I did see that, but I'm like, I don't. Shanice never filmed that show.
Okay.
Shanice never filmed that show. It was. I remember me and Chad popping up, and they were doing a scene, and we were here in LA, and we filmed on their show, but. They were invited. I mean, she was invited to the baby shower. I mean, I had Puffy's, the mother of his kids there, Sarah. Like, we had a bunch of people, you know, there at the time. So, mind you, I think she's cool as shit.
Yeah.
You know, when she came out with the book for Callie, it was a children's book. I had, like, posted it, just, like, showing
Has she said anything to you about this whole situation?
No, she hasn't said anything to me, and I haven't said anything to her because respectfully, like I said, we don't have a dog in this fight.
So would she corroborate you and Shanice's point of view?
1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%.
Girl. At the end of the day, it's not the optics. She can try and spin it how she wants to spin it, and she has that right. The optics look trashy as fuck. I'm sorry. But if I had a young daughter, and this was years ago, and I'm pregnant and I'm having a baby shower, and the mother of his then child is there at my baby shower, you were even on the show with the game and Tiffany at that time. Now, I haven't seen the clip of the whole niece conversation. I haven't seen that clip. In the Shade Room, they could have did their due diligence and found the clip and then inserted it, but whatever. The optics just look trashy. Because, again, it makes people... The reason why it's able to grow legs is because you have this woman there at your baby shower. Baby showers are personal. You can say it's industry or not, but you're not going to just invite anyone to your baby shower. There has to be some type of relationship there. So the fact that she's there with the game, and then you fast forward 10 years later, Shanice is also pregnant by the game and having the game's baby, that's just strange. That just does not look right. And again, Shanice is grown. It's not like she's 20, 21. She's a grown woman, so she can do what she wants to do. But people have the right to side-eye the whole situation. Then to say that, oh, we haven't talked to Tiffany, you know, we have no dog in this fight. Tiffany's children are now related to your grandchild. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Her kids are your grandchild's brother and sister. So the whole situation is just really weird. You know, again, that's just that weird ass industry shit. I wouldn't even be surprised if at one point in time the game tried to holler at Evelyn, but then got with the dot. You just never know, because that's how the industry is. Look how he was talking about how he smashed several of the Kardashian sisters. and then bragged about it on a song with Kanye West. So I just think the whole situation is just gross. It's weird. Again, she's grown. She can do what she wants to do. But the optics just look weird. It just does. But the baby's beautiful, you know. They have a beautiful baby. They won't stop talking about the baby's big blue eyes. So I guess that makes up for all the weird shit. So now let's go ahead and listen to her. Her and Shanice have a podcast, and they're talking about colorism and the colorism that Evelyn faced. I didn't know Evelyn was dark-skinned, but okay, girl. And there are dark-skinned Latinos, but Evelyn does not give me dark-skinned Latina vibes. Well, yeah, this is their podcast here. So we're going to go ahead. Let me fix this real quick. I don't know. It's just weird. I just feel like at this point in time, she never had these conversations before. So I find it very interesting that, you know, now all of a sudden there's all these colorism conversations after all the drama with OG on Basketball Wives.
You feel like you raised them both differently or the same?
I think different because her dad was not in her life. But then I guess I embrace her more because I felt it because I did not have that figure. My mother did not embrace her either. She didn't have that grandmother love.
Why didn't she embrace her?
I don't know what she had against her.
Is it skin?
Yeah, she was a little racist. And I don't know why, because my grandfather was black.
Well, I think your mom was darker than me.
Yeah, my mother was darker.
It was clear that she liked her, but she didn't like me.
Did you feel that as a kid?
Yeah, I knew. She didn't. She took Titi to Disney, and she was like, I'm not taking her.
What a biatch.
Yeah, she didn't really like my father either. And he felt like she didn't like him for the same reasons.
And he was not that dark either. Among the older brothers, he was the lightest one.
You have 2 daughters. Do you feel like you raised them both differently or the same?
Okay. All right. Let me come back on the damn screen, child. Okay. So we all know that colorism is very real in the Latino and Hispanic communities, right? Hell, it's real in Black communities, African, Caribbeans, and stuff like that. But there's also a such thing as featureism as well. And Evelyn definitely has, as far as her nose, more of a black nose. And I think that might have played a part in it, on top of the supposed colorism. She has more black features. Like, if you look at Shanice's nose, it's more pointy. The grandmother's nose is more pointy. So I think that's part of it, too, is that she had more black features. She has more like her nose is more shaped like mine than it is Shanice's. But my issue with all of these new talking points, because I feel like a lot of this stuff is now, it's just topics for a podcast. Because when she came out, she was the proud Latina, the Puerto Rican, you know, just like Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess. You couldn't tell them anything. You know, she thought she was above Jennifer Williams and a lot of the Black girls that were on the show. And then, you know, once colorism started becoming more talked about mainstream, now it's I'm Afro-Latina. Well, when did this appear? Because you never claimed to be Afro-Latina before all the drama that went down with OG. You know, and she has a very brown-skinned son because her son is by the guy who used to manage Meg Thee Stallion. I see his face in my head. I can't think of his name. Baseball player. So her son is a lot browner, like the dad. But I'm still not buying that. You know, I think she might have went through some colorism if she had like a real colorist grandmother. But again, why is all this now just being discussed? And it's just, to me, I just look at it like it's just being discussed as like a topic. It's not like you guys are really trying to change anything or change conversations because, yeah, Carl Crawford. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. Carl Crawford. That's such a mouthful for me. But yeah, it's like, just like, well, it's easy to say that Jocelyn loves her blackness, but let's keep it real. She wasn't bragging about her blackness until she had a child who looks fully black. Her daughter, nobody outside of her daughter speaking Spanish, you're not going to look at her daughter, and her daughter's beautiful and she's a great mom. Nobody's going to look at Bonnie Bella and think that that's a Latina child. Bonnie Bella looks straight black. So I feel like that's when she really started embracing her blackness, because remember when she first got on Love and Hip Hop, she thought she was way better than Mimi. Mimi was a maid. I'm a Puerto Rican princess. You know, I speak Spanish. She was really playing that up, even though Jocelyn herself also has more black features. Jocelyn herself looks more Afro-Latina. But there was definitely on reality TV, especially back then, a hierarchy. And all the girls who were Latina or looked more Latina, they definitely thought they were better than the girls who were full black. So it's a lot easier to embrace it now because her daughter did not come out with those Latino features. If her daughter looked more Latina, would she still have that same disposition? I don't know. Because it runs really deep in Hispanic and Latino communities. You know, like I said, there's even a saying, and I forget how to say it in Spanish, but it translates to advance the race. Meaning you always date lighter. You always go lighter. You don't date darker. So I find it very interesting that these are conversations that Evelyn is having, because Evelyn always considered herself a lot better than the black women that were on Basketball Wives. And that was just the truth of the matter. Even her being upset that Ocho Cinco would have the nerve to date an OG. And I still remember OG saying, Ocho wanted me. And that pissed her off. It like made her so mad. And you know, this is a real thing. It's just like, I don't know. It's just sad that that's people's mentalities. But you have people who love it. You know, they want to be up here and look down on black women until they face that, until they're going through that. And I still feel like there's still some of that colorism, because even when she posts about the grandbaby, it's always about his eyes. Oh, the blue-eyed baby, my blue-eyed grandbaby. He's a beautiful boy, don't get me wrong, beautiful. But everything is about his eye color. Just like with the game. Whenever he talks about the little boy, I'm going to show you some pictures. He's adorable. But the first thing they reference is that child's eyes. So she doesn't understand that colorism is still really strong with her as well. Let me show you here. Beautiful little boy. Funny how life works. Love you so much, Blaze. I don't know. She wrote in one of the posts, but yeah, he's adorable. Yeah, here it is. This little blue-eyed angel made me a grandmother. I'm forever grateful. You brought so much joy. I mean, we clearly see he's blue-eyed, but it's just like, you know, people always focus on like these little things. So I don't know. I just find that very interesting. But yeah, he's a adorable little baby. He really is. See, yeah, this is the one here. She says it here. Pretty eyes. It's like, okay, girl. So, again, some things unfortunately never change. You know, he'd be adorable if he had brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. He's just a beautiful baby overall. He's adorable. You know, one thing the game does, he makes some cute kids, because all his kids are really cute. But yeah, and hopefully with these conversations, that it will change people's mentalities, and because there are real Afro-Latinas who really got it bad. And I'm not trying to, you know, invalidate her feelings of what she went through as a child. But to me, there are really dark-skinned Afro-Latinas who had to sit around their family members, or not even that, let's just say they're getting on the city bus in the Bronx, and, you know, people are talking shit about them until they turn around and they start speaking Spanish. Like, oh, okay, you thought you could talk shit about me? Bitch, I'm Dominican too. Bitch, I'm Puerto Rican too. I know everything that you were saying about me. These are real experiences that real darker skinned, more kinkier textured haired Afro-Latinas really went through. So, again, I don't know if she really went through a lot of that. I think maybe her features, because of her nose, might have been a turnoff to the grandmother. But as far as like her hair texture, her skin tone, I don't see her having the same experience as a Amara Negra, like somebody said in the chat. I don't see her having that same experience as an Amara. But again, everybody, you know, we're in the victim Olympics. Excuse me. Let me go ahead and read this super chat here. Hold on, it just refreshed. Spicy Papaya Sanfai says it's all fun and games until those robots go rogue. Right. And start performing their own damn abortions. Like, I'm not trying to have a damn robot baby. And pulls it out their damn robot stomach. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to think about that. Ronafil sent $10. Says, T, I sent a super chat earlier, but I don't know what happened. T, did you hear about the human egg trafficking ring that has been busted overseas? They're holding women hostage and harvesting their eggs. What? No, I did not hear about that. Hold on. Human egg trafficking. What the hell? This happened a few months ago. Oh, there's another one that happened. Okay, hold up. 2 different situations. One happened 6 months ago and one happened 4 weeks ago. 32 arrested in major human trafficking ring operation. 100 women allegedly enslaved in horrific egg harvesting ring. What? Hold on. I gotta watch this real quick. Let me share my screen. What the hell? What the helly? What the heliante? Okay, let's watch this. I didn't hear about this at all.
Here is everything you need to know about an alleged human trafficking ring in which women claim to have been enslaved against their will so that their captors could harvest their eggs. On February 7th, one of the women who claimed to be the victim of the human traffickers told her shocking story at a press conference in Thailand. She wore a face mask along with a hat pulled over her eyes as she spoke in order to remain anonymous, as did 2 other alleged victims who appeared with her as the chilling details were recounted. She says the nightmare began when she responded to an ad on social media which claimed to be looking for women willing to be surrogates. According to the ad, she would be allowed to live with the family she would be carrying the baby for in the country of Georgia, and that the pay would be good too. After agreeing to the terms, she said she was flown from Thailand and eventually to Georgia, where she was met by 2 Chinese nationals. At that point, she claimed she was brought to a house where she learned her fate. There was no family and no surrogacy. Instead, she says there were 60 to 70 Thai women being kept in the house, which was actually part of a human egg farm. The gangsters took their passports and threatened the women that they could be arrested if they tried to escape. She says that they would be injected with hormones before their eggs would be extracted with a machine every month, so that the criminals could sell their eggs on the black market. Some of the women would even resort to pretending to be ill in order to try to get out of the sickening procedure. But the only real way out was by paying ransom to the gangsters, which is what one woman was able to do, before alerting a Thai NGO to the horrific enslavement that was happening. The Pavina Foundation for Women and Children was then able to work with
Wow. That is sick and demonic. That is sick. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. That is, y'all be careful answering these job applications and going overseas. There is some crazy stuff going on. Wow. I remember that billionaire, I can't think of his name right this second. Peter Nagard. He was trying to harvest black women's eggs. Yeah. Wow. That is so scary. But thank you for the super chat, sis. Let's see here. Tari sent 10. Says, I was just thinking the other day about the generation of manufactured children choosing race, eye color, gender. How many quadruplets at once? I wonder if that generation will be a strange generation. Yeah. And I think a lot of these celebrities, low key, are manufacturing their children as well. Because I find it very interesting that if you've noticed over the past few years, a lot of these celebrity kids are all coming out with like blue, hazel, green eyes. I just find that very weird. And again, people, of course, people of color, black folks, you know, can have any eye color, but usually that was like, you see like a kid with hazel or green eyes, you know, it was far and few between. Like, oh, you know, she got some pretty eyes, or, you know, but now it's like every celebrity's kid is, you know, and the parents are like, you know, brown-eyed. And I'm not saying there's not recessive genes. I understand how genes work, but I just find it interesting. If you think back to all the kids who have been born in the past 10 years, a lot of them whose parents do not have green or hazel eyes have come out with really, really light colored eyes. And I've been thinking that for a while, that I think a lot of them are picking, you know, eye colors and certain genetics for their kids. I think that type of option has been available to the rich for a long time. I just find it very interesting. I don't know. Yeah, it used to be rare. Thank you, Ariel. It used to be rare. Now it's like every other kid that's black or brown is blue-eyed. It used to be really, really rare. You said IVF allows that? The Eve gene holds the original blueprint. Kimmy says, I've noticed that in twins. Yeah, a lot of celebrities having twins as well. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how everybody looks in the future. Let's see here. Tanisha sent $49.99. Says, T, I agree with you 100%. I'm not negating that Evelyn did not experience some form of colorism during her upbringing. That would rightly explain her participation in colorism herself. This is not something from the heart. This is merely monetary. Exactly. Thank you so much for the super chat. And that's the thing that bothers me when we have these conversations. It's just a topic. It's not really something that's affecting you in real time or that you've been talking about from day one, because again, she herself has participated in colorism on that show, with how she's treated a lot of black women, you know, on Basketball Wives. So, and again, a lot of stuff unfortunately is learned behavior. But I think when I see a lot of topics like this on podcasts, it's just to get a check. It's just something to talk about. It's not because it's something that they're really still affected by till this day. And that's the vibe I get from Evelyn when she's talking about this. So, yeah, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see here. Brittany sent $4.99. She says, hey, T, did you hear about the coach that was shot in his mistress's bedroom in Birmingham? That man that shot him found him in his own bedroom. I did hear about that, and I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people are trying to make it seem like the coach, oh, you know, people creep, people do this. First of all, the coach, the guy who shot the coach was a YN, okay? He was 23 years old. The coach was fucking his girlfriend, and the girlfriend was 23. The coach was in his 40s. From what I also heard, he had been coaching her since high school. So that gives me some type of grooming vibes, that you've known this girl since high school. All of a sudden, you're over here fucking this girl at her house that she shares with her man. Her little YN boyfriend came home, seen you balls deep in that, and shot you. How embarrassing and dreadful for your wife and children. You're a 40-year-old man creeping with a 23-year-old, and the 23-year-old's boyfriend took you out. How embarrassing and dreadful for the wife and the children. I feel no way about the coach. Too many married men are out here playing a very dangerous game. And a lot of these dudes are not playing, you're in their home, you're disrespecting their home. I'm not saying it's okay, but I don't really have any tears to shed. Because a good man would have been home with his wife. A good man would have been like, you're young enough to be my daughter. I'm not going there. Especially, you can't tell me he didn't know that she had a little YN boyfriend. He didn't care. Yeah, So I heard the story. People, well, he's a coach. He's been coaching for some years, and that's great. He should have thought about that before he got involved with a 20-something-year-old who had a man, knowing he had a wife. They're both trifling. But then again, I don't know if he'd been grooming her because that was her coach in high school. Like I said, people under the age of 25, their frontal cortexes have not developed. You're messing with irrational people. That 23-year-old who took him out, this was not developed. He ran off of emotions. The guy who's supposed to be my girlfriend's coach is in my home having sex with her. I'm going to show him. So I find the whole situation embarrassing. Embarrassing. I don't know the coach's name. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, but yeah. Okay, here's like a short blip. They're not really gonna expound on it much on the news. A lot of people talking about it on like TikTok and on social media. The news only like made like a blip on it. Man arrested after shooting beloved coach dead.
And we have a new update this morning to breaking news.
Yeah, this is it right here. Trying to pull it up. Like I said, they're not trying to go into much details, but if you see the comments and everything, and yeah, dude was trifling.
And we have a new update this morning to breaking news that we first told you about yesterday morning. A Birmingham high school football coach killed in a deadly shooting. And this morning, the man charged in that killing waking up behind bars. Parker High School shared this post of Demetrius Beverly. The school says he was an assistant football coach. He was also a former football and baseball player with the Thundering Herd. The school went on to say that Coach Beverly, quote, gave his all to the Thundering Herd on the field and in our community. He was a mentor, a husband, a father, and friend whose impact will live on through the countless lives he touched. DeCorleon Robinson is charged with Beverly's murder. Beverly was found dead at Lakeshore Ridge Apartments Wednesday night. Police say Robinson was arrested in the complex's parking lot. He is now in the Jefferson County Jail being held without bond.
So DeCorleon, that just lets you know he's young. His name is DeCorleon. He's the one who took out the coach, you know. And it's sad that the coach didn't realize that he was a mentor and, you know, a role model of the community, and he still chose to engage. While they were putting out a statement, they should have also noted that he was a cheater. And he died doing what he loved, being balls deep in other people's girlfriends' coochies. Okay? So, yeah. Sometimes being faithful and being a loving husband to your wife can literally save your life. It can prevent you from getting things like HIV or winding up dead by a young YN named DeCorleon. So the whole situation is a mess. Straight up mess. But it's not the first time it's happened. You know, it's happened several times over the years. I don't know when some of these guys will learn. Like I said, I feel bad for the wife and the children because that's just embarrassing. Somebody said his nickname was Meat. Child. And that's the one thing, too. If you're going to be creeping and doing stuff, do not creep in somebody else's home. That's the easiest way for you to find yourself getting a hot one straight to the head. If you're going to cheat and do all that shit, there's no reason why that grown-ass man could not have afforded to get them a hotel room. You don't never go back to that person's home. Y'all are playing a very dangerous game. Okay, did I hit on all the topics? I think I did. I did. I've been on here for over 2 hours, y'all. It's almost 3 hours. Oh my gosh, it don't even feel like it. It's, we be having fun. We be chopping it up here. So please hit the like button. We got over 2,000 likes. We have over 7,000 people in the house. Please hit the like button, y'all. I'm going to read a few more super chats. I'm going to get up out of here. Let's see. Let's see here. Kyra Robb sent $10. Says Bill Gates is in Africa again, trying to launch a long-term birth control patch and IUD. Wow. I don't understand. I mean, I get he's a billionaire, but like, I don't understand why he has so much access to just do stuff to people when he's not a real doctor. He's never gone to school for any of this stuff. It's insane. And of course he wants to launch a birth control plan in Africa because they know that African people, black people, we're very fertile. You know, we can have so many kids. It's the European nations, their birth rates are declining. Asia, their birth rates are declining. In Africa and in Latin America, those birth rates are not declining. That's a shame. Let's see here. Evelyn sent $10. She says, hey, T, I would love to invite you to the Burna Boy concert in Minneapolis in November. I'm one of the backing singers from London. I remember you mentioning that you wanted to attend in the past live. Oh, please email me because I would love to go see Burna Boy in November. My oldest and my brother, they went to go see Lil Wayne yesterday at the Target Center. I'm like, I didn't know Lil Wayne was filling up Target Center. But I'm definitely down. Please send me an email. I would love to go see Burna Boy when he comes out here. So thank you. That's awesome. You're one of the backup singers. That is so dope. Thank you so much for reaching out. Let's see here. Lady Pink says IVF allows eye color selection through a process called PGA. Wow. Somebody else in the chat was saying that IVF allows that. I didn't even know that. So you can, because I'm like, it's just weird. And I don't know if all these people are doing IVF, who knows. But I just found it weird, like in the past 10 years, a majority of celebrities' kids have really light-colored eyes. When, like I said, back in the day, that was a rarity. Like people with light-colored eyes, you stood out. Oh, everybody. Oh, such and such. Oh, he got green eyes. Or, such and such with the hazel eyes. And now it's like every other kid you see got light-colored eyes. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. Miss Alea Johnson sent 10, says, hey, beautiful, lovely T, just stopping by to say hello and put a little something in the tip jar. I love you for always blessing us with your knowledge and presence. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you for the love and support always. Let's see here. Moonlight says, Joseph Mengele made twins in Nazi Germany to grow Aryans. That sounds like one of those Nazi scientists. But y'all, I've been on here for almost 3 hours. This has been a wonderful stream. Last season of Leo, we going out with a bang. This was a wonderful season. I definitely enjoyed my entire month of July and August. So thank you guys so much for just all the love, support, the super chats coming to my Leo bash. I can't wait till I finally get the videos up and the pictures and everything else. So definitely stay tuned for that. So I'll be dropping some more videos, over the next few days and stuff. So thank you guys once again. Everybody have a good evening.